What's going on, everybody? It's me, Pat from Streets. Are you guys ready to give a shit about fighting games again? I'm not. But I guess I have to. Oh well. Do I eat dirt? No. You know what? Paige and I recently went to like a little... We went to like a... What do you call those? Like a farmer's market? You know, like a farmer's market? A couple days ago? And there was a man there. And the man was like, I got these carrots. Right? And I was like, yeah, let's get some carrots. Right? And the man was like, here's some carrots. And I was like, here's some money. And as the man held out the carrots to me, I could see that the man's hands were overtly filthy with dirt, also known as soil. And I'm like, that's how you know those are good carrots. Like, it's funny because I saw two people go, oh no! I'm like, no, you want the man you buy your carrots from to look like he's fucking tired and he's dirty. Because that's honest. That's honest work. Ain't nothing more honest work than I grew a fucking root in the ground, then I pulled it out of the ground. Do you want it? You want to see the dirt? Anyway, fighting games. Fighting games. So earlier today, I saw a gentleman in the chat named Nord Guy, and he was like, oh man, I hope we're going to see at least one funny video today. Don't worry, buddy. Fighting games do, in fact, have funny videos. There are very funny fighting game videos. In fact, to those of you in the know, some of those fighting game videos that are hilarious may in fact be works of genius. May in fact. Like Fighterpedia? No. I'll be honest, I haven't to the okay, I'll be really honest. To this day, I have never watched 95% of Fighterpedia videos. Gasp. Yeah. Well, it's like, yeah, I watched the Zubaz one, but it was like, oh man, Bone Storm or whatever the fuck that was. Bloodstorm? Fucking the one with the head combos. Bloodsport? What the fuck is it called? Weapon Lord, yeah. Like, man, Willie'd be like, oh, fucking Weapon Lord, man, yeah! And then we played it on fisticuffs. I'm like, this game feels like shit. This game feels like shit! Like, oh, man. Let's play some goddamn Endless Duel up in here instead. Anyway. Back in the disgusting mucus kangaroo pouch that is fighting games. It's sticky and it's nasty, but it feels like home. What are you gonna do? Welcome, everyone. I should do a stream of Gollum. You know, if there wasn't so much hot shit coming out, I might have. There was too much hot shit. Excuse me. Sir Taylor, sorry, that's wrong. I already fucked it up. It's already doomed. Story Taylor sub, thanks, man. Hey, Pat, I'm happy to see you enjoying fighting games again. Out of curiosity, have you looked at a game called Wilder Myth? I want to say I have. It's in my library. I own it. And I don't know what it is. That's interesting. So I guess I have. Drake. Man, I can't read for shit today. I'm sorry. Drake Valentine kicked in a sub. Thanks, Drake. Spending all day today feeling sick, so my boss has less reason to question while I call in sick for Street Fighter 6 tomorrow. I think the funniest thing about that is a guy I used to work with. He was the manager at the grocery store. He was the general manager of the store, and he played games. So he'd be like, Madden's coming out, boys. I'm feeling sick. And when everybody got sick when Madden came out, like suddenly like 30% of the fucking staff would get sick when Madden came out. He'd be like, oh yeah, I felt really sick too. Oh, don't worry about it. Must be something going around. And he'd cover for everybody. That guy was great. He was the only cool boss I've ever had in my entire life. He was like my favorite boss to work with anywhere I have ever been. He was a good guy. I say he was because he's dead now. But he was a really cool guy. It figures, right? So, yeah, that's the one I told you about before, so I'm not going to go into it. It's wildly dark. It's true what they say. The good die young, and pricks will live forever. So you know what? Feeling pretty good. Acronym CLT kicked in a sub. Thanks, Acronym. Hey, Pat. Gonna be hopping into Street Fighter 6 when it launches. Have a little experience, but still relatively new. Any fundamentals I should... Okay, hold on. Before I answer that. Somebody said, Pat, Chill the Whisk says, Pat, you're your own boss now. Surely you're cool, right? Fuck. Okay, there are artists in here. I know there's commissioned artists in here. I know there are artists in here that do commissions. If you are, shout out. Okay. We got fucking Pocket Bear. We got Mr. Potato. We got Acronym. Okay. Being your own boss turns you into a cunt. You are the worst. You are the worst ever. No one will ever be worse than you. Ever. Oh my God. Unless you love working. No. No, you're even worse when you love going to work. Oh my God. Oh man. Cause like when you're your own boss, right? And you're feeling sick and tired and you're like down, because it's not a different person, and you have to be like a human, you can be like, what are you, like some kind of lazy piece of fucking shit? Like you can talk to yourself in ways that would get you like arrested if you talk to like a real employee. Like the shit you can say to a mirror is there's no stopping it. There's like, you know what happens to me? It's the funniest fucking thing in the world. It's the funniest thing in the world. I'll be like at a dentist appointment and they're like excited for the long weekend. And I'm like, there's a holiday? I don't know, man. I got the podcast. And they're like, what's a podcast? And I'm like, don't worry about that. That's not important. I don't know what a holiday is. Do you know what a holiday is? There's no video games coming out. Or a holiday is I got the stomach flu and I'm going to shit myself to death. That's what that means. So acronym CLT kicked in a sub. Acronym says, hey Pat, hopping into Street Fighter 6. Have a little experience but still relatively new. Any fundamentals I should particularly focus on as a noob? Also, any chance of Alan Wake playthrough before 2 comes out? When's 2 coming out? That's the biggest detail. Thanks for entertainment. Looking forward to some street fighting. When's Alan Wake 2 coming out? Is that this year? October? Ooh, maybe. Maybe. I really like Alan Wake. Alan Wake is a shitstorm video that was pretty good, and we fucking forgot to hit record. We're like 90 minutes in to an Alan Wake 1 video for a shitstorm one-off, and realized we had never started recording at all. So that sucks. It was good, too. It was a good episode. Chill the West says, man, I miss shitstorm. You know what I don't miss? Shitstorm at all. You want to talk... Oh, man, you want to talk about being your own boss. Me and Matt sitting down in, like, fucking... Oh, my God, like... July to start planning shitstorm. Oh, man. And then just going down the list of like, this sucks, 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 this sucks. Throw a Resident Evil game at the end there. All right, we did it. But the fans want it. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. What was that Bug Island game? It was called Bug Island. It's called Escape from Bug Island. That was a hidden gem right there. No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. Fundamentals to focus on. I mean, all fundamentals are equally fundamental. That's why they're called fundamental. I would... So modern controls... So it used to be practice your buttons and make sure moves happen when you want them to happen. That used to be number one. Fuck that now. Now we're on modern. The number one fundamental that I would tell you to focus on is actually really genuinely work on understanding how to block. And why to block. Defending yourself is the most important thing. The number one, if you want to get more granular, if you want to get even more granular than that, they knocked you down. You want to fight back. Sometimes chill the fuck out a little bit and block instead. You don't always have to hit buttons. I won most of my games during the beta by spamming low heavy kick. Block low. Blocking low is great. Blocking low is good. Half the way I beat you is being patient as fuck. Yeah, I like to play fast. I don't like to play lame. People who play lame frustrate me very much. Oh, hey, whoa. Ramazit gifted 5 gift subs. Thank you, Ramazit. Very appreciated. Oink, oink, honk, honk. The best people are those who can play lame and fast, depending on the situation. Well, Abare, yes, the best people are those who can play any which way and know all things and can do every trick. Like, that's not... Oh, congrats. Do we know the exact hour Street Fighter 6 is coming out? It's coming out midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific. For me... It's coming out sometime in the early afternoon of tomorrow. But I don't know when. Evie Artwork sub, thank you. Fairy Princess kicked in us up. 5 years of this shit, and all I got was a pregnant ginger. Congrats, roly-poly ginger boy. Yeah, I'm knocked up. Sorry, guys. Full of baby in here. Green Oni sub. Thanks, Green Oni. Echo B sub. Looking forward to the fighting game arc. Have a good one. Thank you. Pat, I want to main grapplers in Street Fighter 6. Will people send me hate mail? I hear grapplers have a certain reputation. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're going to hate. The trick is to fucking feed on that hate. Just eat it up. Oh, feels good, bro. Mongerific, it's Ratman, Harp Interaction. All subscribe. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Mighty Max sub. Street Fighters tomorrow night. Woohoo! Woo! Hey, Beast kicked in 10 gift subs. Thanks, Beast. That's Beast 5200. Oink, oink, honk, honk. Thank you. Appreciate it. Facetious AF kicked in a sub. Thanks, Facetious. Oh man, big day's coming up. Getting my stuff together. Gonna set the day aside and celebrate Zangief's birthday. That's right. We got Zangief some presents and a party hat. So we're gonna have a little birthday celebration for the baby tomorrow on the Street Fighter show. Because it is his birthday. He is turning 3 years old. Captain Podok's up. Thanks, Captain. Namila, hold on. Namila says... countdown until he eats the party hat. He already tried to eat the party hat. He already tried to eat the party hat earlier today. He did fail. But, you know. Captain Podok sub, thanks again, man. Been a while since I've stopped by. Want to congratulate you and Paige on the baby news. Thank you. Crimson Dio, is it actually his birthday or the day you got him? No, Zangief was born on June 1st. If you guys remember, we got him in the very beginning of August 3 years ago. And because he was 8 weeks old, or 8 weeks in a couple days. June 1st is actually Zangief's birthday, which really, really locked down that we had to name him Zangief, because Zangief's birthday is June 1st. So it was like, okay, well that's done. Is that coincidence? You time the puppy purchase? You don't really time puppy purchases. You either go down to get the puppy or the puppy get borned, right? PS5 or PC? I'm going PC, but I know the PS5 and the Xbox versions are completely fine. Don't know about the Xbox and PlayStation 4 versions. Don't know. Odds Logic sub. Thanks, Odds. Harp Interaction kicked in 500 bits. My screen's black and refreshing won't help. I can't believe Wi-Fi has abandoned me. Yeah, I saw you talking about that in the chat earlier. Sorry, dude. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. I don't get it. Pokefan sub. Thanks, Pokefan. Broand says Denuvo causes me hesitation. So, Broand, here's the thing. I wouldn't worry about it. Because the game is locked at 60 anyway. And it runs on everything. So I really, really like the game runs on the fucking Steam Deck. Right? If your fucking computer is better than the Steam Deck, you'll be fine. Did you? Oh, Sandwich Jones asked a great question. Did you see early reviewers had to sign an agreement that they wouldn't participate in tournaments for a year? LOL. Yeah, because I signed it. No $1,000,000 for you. So I have a sneaking suspicion. I'm not 100% certain, but I think I know somebody who won't sign it, which is going to be really funny tomorrow. Violet Heart kicked in sub. Thank you. 54 is too many months. Hey, unrelated. Guess who finally started on ADHD meds? Low dose right now, but it's nice to get started on that train. Good for you. Enjoy your salts. And Artyom kicked in a sub. Thanks, Artyom. Pat, been a huge fan since the Machinima days. Congrats on Kid. Also, if you played Chivalry 2, it's basically a fighting game with weapons. Okay. I feel exactly the same about Chivalry 2 as I do Killing Floor 2. They're better, but for some reason, I don't like them nearly as much as the first one. I played so much goddamn Chivalry 1. And then Chivalry 2 came out, and I played it for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, wow, I don't like this. And I can't tell you any reason. I literally have no explanation at all. And I played Mordhau, and Mordhau sucks. Shame about all the Nazis in those games? Yeah, it is. Das Vault, blah, blah, blah. Westerns, fuck off. Western civilization is the fucking bedrock upon all society is built. The Greeks were so advanced, that's why they fucked so many kids. Oh, whoops. Oh, darn. Don't, no, don't think about that part. Fucking idiots. But Pat, all the old civilizations did that. You know what? Okay. Things are getting better. Things are getting better over time. All right. World Brand kicked in a sub. Thanks, man. Sometimes you just don't like pickles. Don't know what that's in reference to, but I don't like pickles. It's really funny because we go to order a food somewhere and Paige is like, can you cook it upside down and substitute the leaves for a type of bird feather that no longer exists? And I'm like, no pickles. I'm just joking. Because, like, Paige, I make fun of my wife because my wife, my darling Paige, orders food like an American. In that the waiter comes by and says, hey, what are you guys feeling? And she goes, well, I was thinking about this, or I was thinking about this. Which is your favorite? And the waiter then goes, I'm vegan. I don't eat any of this. And she's like, oh, And then Paige goes, well, Pat, how about you order? And I'll just take a second. And I go, I want the burger with no pickles. And the guy goes, got it. And then he turns back to Paige, and like 4 seconds have passed. It happens every time, and she never has any extra time at all. Ever. And then she's like, oh, darn. And she just gets all choice paralysis-y. It's very sweet, and she's always very polite and always tips really well. But it's really funny to me. Quick, Pat, stall. No, yeah, that's pretty much every... I don't know how to stall. I don't know how to stall. Tetrays subbed. Hope you enjoy the SF6 version of Geef. Me too. But luckily, Marissa's there, and so is Manon. Canada also has a tipping culture? It does. Yeah, we also have the tipping culture. Drake in the chat. This is sarcasm. With Street Fighter 6 tomorrow, I've been seeing a lot of, if you use Wi-Fi in a match, I'll block you and kill you sentiment online. How long until latency and packet loss purists demand everybody lives near a network node or does local zoning? It's really funny to me. Like, the Wi-Fi thing is coming back up, and it's like Wi-Fi warriors go home, blah, 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 right? And what's weird is there's way less of it this time. Like, there's actually much less of the, you go to Street Fighter Reddit and there's like a thread about it, right? So there's like much less, but it's so much more intense. And with Street Fighter 6 specifically, it's really stupid. I retweeted earlier, Mike Ross was playing LA to Singapore on Wi-Fi. I think against Giuna, I'm not sure though. And was like, not a single issue. Like, the netcode is just that good. Like, there's no, like chill out. Like, am I going to be using woke controls? I don't know. You're forgetting that most consoles have awful Wi-Fi cards. It doesn't matter. I have played the open beta and the closed betas against people on almost every continent on my PC wired, my PC on Wi-Fi, my other PC on Wi-Fi, and my PlayStation 5 on Wi-Fi very far from the router, and encountered like in like 1,000 matches, like 4 iffy matches. And like 2 of those were people from New Zealand. Like, it's just not a problem. Has there been any mention of multiple appearances for your created character? You can save 50 presets for your CAC in Street Fighter 6. And you can upload 3 of them to share to others. So if you want to put in like, hey, I made Guts, or hey, I made Pat, or I made Steve Jobs, Ligma. I made Steve Sugma Jobs. Here you go. Ligma Laminsa kicked in $5. Thanks, Ligma. After Phil's answer interview, it made me realize that Xbox's game plan isn't to buy massive companies to force people to buy Xbox. They gave up on that. They just want to get money from PlayStation players. Lamau. Yep. And Tortuga Time kicked in a sub. Thank you, Tortuga Time. Abare. I'll play devil's advocate on this. In America, a lot of your regular people have hilariously bad Wi-Fi. Somebody who works in education, the pandemic showed the country how shit their data plans and routers were, and many people didn't take that as a sign to fix it. You're completely right. All I can tell you is that in the open beta, I played hundreds of matches on my own Wi-Fi in the house, not here, like across the Wi-Fi's transmitting over my yard, against other people who are using Wi-Fi in different countries and had no hiccups. It's fine. It's fine. Like, there's no problem. The net code is excellent. Abara says, absolutely, I'll 100% trust your connection, but Jimmy down the road's going to be a crapshoot. And I'm telling, and I played Jimmy down the road on camera. I played a dude in Argentina. He beat my ass. And also, if you really want to solve the problem, just plug in your phone and put it to internet tethering, and then your console or your PC will be a wired connection. What's really funny is that so I tested that at the house, and you know what I discovered? I could play on Wi-Fi at like fucking 900 down, 500 upload, or I could play via Ethernet with 110. Which is like, would you rather me have a much faster and more reliable speed? Or would you rather me have the little cable symbol? Because that's what people are doing. Like in Tekken, people plug their fucking phones into their goddamn computer so that the Ethernet symbol shows up. I know the trick. I'll take the symbol. I gotta say, I love how much you flipped on this. The reason I flipped on this is twofold. One, I'm much happier with my use. Like, I play FF14 exclusively over Wi-Fi. I haven't had a single hiccup that wasn't due to the server shitting itself. Second is like the Street Fighter 6 rollback is excellent. It's fantastic. Guys, I ran a stream for Street Fighter 6 off Wi-Fi and played you guys. like I don't People don't believe you about that, dude. I literally I had the window capture to show the little symbol. Yeah, whatever. The ultimate test is fighting Eli. Then, yeah, that'd be. He's not gonna play Street Fighter, dude. Modern Control. He's not gonna play Street Fighter, even though Modern Controls is literally everything Eli. So Eli was actually completely right. Eli had been advocating for something like Modern Controls for like forever. And he was right. They should have done it. And now that it's there, he will just not play it. Shonen Hero kicked in a sub. Thanks, Shonen. Hey, Pat, just want to say thanks for the content and for streaming. It just says I get off of work. No problem. Super fucking burnt today. Got heat exhausted at work, so I almost barfed. Had to sit in the cooler for like 10 minutes while the neurons in my brain misfired. Now I'm sitting in my apartment with the AC. I'm excited to learn some more fighting game bullshit. As an aside, what advice would you recommend for somebody with serious anxiety trying to get into competitive play? Asking for a friend. I have bad advice for this. Do you want bad advice? Play Wasted. That'll calm your nerves. The good advice, is something that I'll steal from Wooly. Winning the match is not the goal. Learning something in the match is better. So if you learn even one thing or improve one aspect of your game, Logan Air kicked in a sub. Says, sure, thanks, man. I am kind of baffled at how intense people are getting about the Wi-Fi thing, especially since like everyone's talking about like, but I don't want bad matches. I'm like, I had one bad match in the whole fucking open beta. I played like hundreds of matches. Like for your own benefit in terms of getting matches quickly, don't turn the I mean, if you want to turn the self-selecting, like the only Ethernet opponents feature on, yeah, by all means. But for your own personal like match timing, like play it for a day and see if there's any problem at all. Right? The growth mindset's good to have, but growth is best exemplified by victory. No, that is wrong. The growth mindset is the growth indicator is not best indicated by victory, because some people are trash and you can win by being slightly less than trash. In fact, fighting some people that are so weak can make you more trash. Because you learn bad habits. You can learn, oh, I do this combo, and then it's like, that's actually not even a combo. That's just a reset. The person's too dumb to block. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's such a good question, Queequeg. Oh, that's an upsettingly good question. How do I solve the issue of going 8-2, but the losses are on both ends of my night? I didn't read that. How do I solve the issue of going 8-2, but the losses are both at the end? Ruins my entire night. Oh, okay. So it's 8 wins and then 2 losses. I mean, there's 2 answers to this question. There's the way that I do it, which is don't go to bed until you win, which is a bad move. Don't do that. Rewatch one of your good matches and feel good about how hard you won. Bruiser kicked in a sub. Thanks, man. Hey, Pat, I'm excited for Street Fighter 6 Vicariously, as money's tight. That being said, have you seen the latest trailer? No, let's watch it. I have seen it, but let's watch it anyway. I think I fucked up. I did not fuck up. There we go. Wow. Do 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 boppity boo. Boppity beep boppity boo boo. Hey. Da 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 da. Da ba da boopy. Hey. Hey guys, you guys gotta let me know. You guys hear that beep boops? You hear that beep boops? You gotta tell me. Yeah? Great. Let's watch the thing. Oh my god, the second costume. Oh my god. You can play as the old costume. I think some of these costumes look a lot better than the new ones. And I think some really don't. I think Guile looks way better.
Nowhere to run.
I think DJ looks way better.
What are you waiting for?
Time to meet your maker. Locked on.
I think Lily's other costume sucks. I think everybody, all the new other characters' costumes are incredible. Puffer jacket, Lady Gaga, whatever that is. Look at that shit. Look at that suit. I don't care who I'm talking about. Look at that suit.
I may need a second helping.
I feel like it sucks because like you don't get a good look at Kimberly's outfit, but hers might be like the best. I'm turning that down. I'm sorry. It's too loud for that.
Street Fighter 6.
Yay. So, they have confirmed that we will be getting these in World Tour mode. And I'm not sure if we're getting them in World Tour mode as beat World Tour mode and unlock it. But it might be become besties with your trainer max relationship. So this might take a while actually, because apparently maxing that shit out takes forever. You can buy them for fight coins too. Is fight coins in game or out of game? Kimberly's second outfit should have been the default. It's premium in game. Who cares? We'll figure it out tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow. 18-hour campaign and people still apparently maxed 1 or 2 characters. Yeah. Fight coins are out of game, but you can earn them. Cool. Haven't committed to a fighting game since Soul Cal 2. After watching you and Wooly, I'll be getting SF6 and gonna run Modern because I got Tekken 7 and can't fucking do inputs for the character's life. Yeah, play Modern. Fuck it. All right, so we're gonna move on now. So people were like, Pat, here's a fighting game video. And the fighting game video, they were like, it's matches. You know? Or they were like, the history of whatever. Right? And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. Okay? I don't give a fuck about that shit when I talk about we're going to watch fighting game videos. Do you know what I'm talking about? I want to see fucking Evolution 2012 Street Fighter Cross Tekken Grand Finals. Get ready for this. The lowest quality. Oh, do the combo in the corner. Bring in Mega Man. Go, Mega Man, go. Yeah! So this is not actually Evo 2012 Grand Finals for this game, but this game sucks. This game sucks ass. So So I'm just gonna, this goes on for a while, so I'm gonna... Can we learn how to do an infinite after this? I don't know, can we? It's stuck here. Mega Man 1, yeah! Alright, what are you gonna... So this jab is like fucking plus, by the way. It's like the best jab ever. Oh, here's that infinite! Kuro the cat can do his punch into his punch forever! It's a one-button infinite! Look at him go! No, it's not a normal. It is like, it is his, it's his Shoryu motion. But still, look at him go. Wait, actually, it might be a normal. That actually looks like a normal. Is that a normal? Oh. I thought it was his. Okay. Let's see if we can get it going. Okay, Raw, we got an honest mo. The gems are activating. OTG it. OTG it. Oh, he dropped it. Just a couple more. Oh, go Mega Man. Here's the part. Now we're racing. Now we're racing because look, is the time gonna run out before they gain enough health? What? What? Who could have won? Who could have won? They won! They had enough health! They won! They screwed up the Mega Man glitch! Oh no! Get him, Kuro! Get him, get him, get him, get him! You can do it! You can do it, Kuro! Look at him go. Look at him go. Yeah, this is Kusoge. What were they thinking when they make this game? Did they even care? It's very interesting, this video game, how it was developed. Oh, that OTG! Oh! Can he... Oh! Go, Mega Man, go! Mega Man 1!
In 2019, Pakistan surprised everyone when they proved they had some of the best Tekken players in the world.
They did.
Arslan Ash won both EVOs that year, earning himself a Red Bull sponsorship. Atif Butt and Always Honey would get first and second place respectively at Tokyo Tekken Masters, and Bilal would win the ultra-stacked LCQ event.
Pakistan just came out of nowhere.
The running joke was that getting past visa issues was harder than winning the tournament itself.
It seems to have
the
been.
Pakistani passport ranked the 4th lowest for visiting other countries, which is why Arslan Ash famously got stuck in transit for 3 days on his way to winning EVO Japan.
Yes, there was a time when I lose all my hope and I decided to go back home.
So how does Pakistan, a country that doesn't even have official distributors for PlayStation or Xbox, get good enough to beat the best in the world? There's no better way to find out than to actually go there, so I went to Lahore, which is the 2nd largest city and home to the best fighting gamers in the country. I was warmly greeted by the local commentators, Soul Dragger and Silver Fox, who taught me about the country and the local scene.
Let's go, Gerald.
Yeah.
You came in the right time. I needed this break.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The first thing to know about Lahore is that it's a center for the arts and culture of the Punjab region,
Fucking
an area
cool.
that includes eastern Pakistan and northwest India. It's the birthplace for much of the country's filmmaking,
Yeah!
literature, and music.
Yeah!
So it's no surprise this is where a culture for gaming could grow as well. Lahore is precisely where you'd have a liberal arts university inviting FGC people to provide a guest lecture about Tekken and esports. There is even an open tournament held in the classroom afterwards.
With the university, now they've got multiple events, so they call
Look how cool this dude is. Look at the fucking the sweater and the sunglasses indoors. Like
it festival. It was basically a film festival with all of the other stuff, fighting game tournaments as
I'm
well.
in my fucking pajamas,
alongside
bro.
all the film competition and sports competition and all that jazz. I think it was pretty sick to be summoned by a university that is basically really art focused.
But to have a culture for gaming, you still need to have games. Pakistan has no official distributor for the most popular consoles,
Darn.
so these consoles and games are imported and sold in the gray market. But imported goods are not cheap, especially when their prices are not adjusted for the country's purchasing power.
If you get a graphics card or a console, it's now considered a luxury item and taxed like that. So PlayStation 5 is probably like $800 here. When I was growing up, I don't remember if there was anybody else in my class that would own a console at the time. The price for it is so inflated. It takes a while for it to be accessible to everybody else.
These prices make gaming an extremely expensive hobby, but there is a way for many Pakistani gamers to get video games for free.
But how?
Back in those days, I'm sure getting a console for a lot of people was getting it from Saudi Arabia, because a lot of Muslims go to pilgrimage every year.
This is such
Saudi
a great
Arabia is where the holiest site in Islam is located,
great,
the Mecca.
like,
Each year, about 1 to
happenstance.
2 million Muslims make a pilgrimage there. The most significant pilgrimage is called the Hajj, which is a religious duty to carry out at least once in a lifetime. Since Pakistan is over 96% Muslim, most people are going to make that trip.
If you're going abroad and you're coming back, it's a custom to bring something for your, especially for the kids, right?
Yeah, bring something for the
consoles
kids.
is the easiest no-brainer for any adult who doesn't even, understand what it is. They were readily available and at a good price in Saudi Arabia.
Pakistan inadvertently got introduced to video gaming through a Muslim ritual.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm just going to pray my Maghrib prayer. It's the fourth prayer of the day. We pray when the sun goes down. It's been a long time. I haven't prayed here, so let's go. Let's pray.
But the ones who still had no games at home did what everyone else in the world did. Go to the arcades.
You know what I love about Gerald? His composition and his
This
camera
is the
work
Level Up Gaming Hub,
is
an arcade.
just as good as his editing. Look at
But
this
the ones who still had no
fucking
games at home did what everyone else in the
look at this fucking stage that he fucking walked up to and decided to shoot at the exact angle that King of Fighters or fucking Street Fighter would point the camera at.
the world did. Go to the arcades.
All right.
This is the Level Up Gaming Hub, an arcade which is mostly Tekken with a couple of KOF cabs. There's a
Always
lot
King
to
of
soak
Fighters.
in here, but the first thing that stood out was this wall of electricity meters in plain sight.
That shit's
with
cool.
These giant batteries on top of the cabinets.
Pakistan is a country that has historically faced a lot of power issues. There's not a lot of power to go around, which is why we often face blackouts, sometimes multiple times in a day.
This summer, my schedule was 10:15 in the morning, 4:15 in the evening, and then like 9:15 at night. So that's 3 hours of power outages that I have to adapt into my schedule. That adds to the cost of setting up a system. So if I'm buying a PS or a PC and I want to play during power outages, I have to set up a UPS system, right? An uninterruptible power supply system.
The next thing I noticed was that these machines were not coin operated.
No.
The cabinets were clearly just running console versions of the game, so I wondered how customers paid.
How?
I wasn't ready for the answer.
That whole coin-operated system still exists in a certain way. They introduced a sort of honor system. They play like first to 10 sets, first to 5 sets. They'd be keeping track of how many times they lost. And once everything was done, they'd report it back to the desk that this is how many games I lost. And as many games as they lost, that was the amount of coins virtual, imaginary coins that they have to pay.
This is the most intense way to fucking monetize this. It is only money matches. Only. And it is yeah. How'd Pakistan get so fucking good at Tekken? Oh, because the dudes who fucking lost didn't get to eat. And like I can't even explain to you, like, because some of you are young enough you never went to the arcade, right? There is a wild difference between I am deciding to blow my lunch money on tokens and I lost games I already played, so now the man is going to take my lunch money away. One is the active choice, and the other is, I guess you just suck, bro.
Even without a winner-stays-on coin-based system, they still maintain the arcade competitive spirit where each game is a mini money match. For the hardcore tournament players, there's even a bring-your-own-controller area with smaller low-lag monitors. Another thing I couldn't ignore was the claw grip that many Pakistani players use to press buttons. The first time I saw this up close was when I filmed Arslan Ash practicing in Thailand. Why do Pakistanis play like this?
Like accidentally used to press other buttons, so then I changed this grip and then I moved to this. Also, the thing is that if you can see, then I have some kind of dead skin on here, and also here I have dead skin. So I think this is the problem with me. So when I used to play like this, I couldn't play because this skin hurts me, So then I adopted this play style.
After Arslan mentioned his wrists, I started to notice that the edge of some of these cabinets had rubbed off exactly where you would place your wrists. Also, the arcade buttons were spaced much further apart
Very far
than
apart.
the typical arcade layouts you see elsewhere. These wooden cabinets are unique because they were designed and built by the locals.
ज़ाहिर सी बात है बंडाई ने हमको यहाँ आर्केड वगैरह कुछ चीज़ कैबिनेट्स वगैरह तो भेज नहीं सकता, तो हमने खुद अपनी मदद आपके तहत उसको डिज़ाइन किया और उसको बनाया और मार्केट में लेके आए. तो हमारे लड़कों के लिए ये भी एक नई चीज़ थी तब.
It's so wild that like their grip is just so deep.
गेम भी न्यूट्रल हो गई थी, कोई किसी के हाथ या बटन वगैरह नहीं देख सकता था.
It's because the buttons are weird apart.
इससे लोगों को भी फ़ायदा हुआ, लोगों की प्रैक्टिस अच्छी हुई, तो हमने कोशिश की कि अच्छे से अच्छा मटेरियल लगाएं इसके ऊपर और इसको रनिंग में लेके आएं.
This guy, he really helped us make those cabinets.
Yeah.
The crash cabinets, and then we bought it from him, and then we put them in Maniac's gaming house. He's pretty good at the woodwork and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's the founder.
That is a
of the
fucking
Crash Party
arcade
This is
fucking
the
workshop.
shopping center where they build arcade cabinets and sell them. You can also find imported games and accessories here, but what caught my eye were all the scraps from old gaming machines. Because gaming equipment is expensive and scarce, repair becomes a necessity. But without official repair centers, it's difficult to source the parts. Third-party repair centers like Gaming Tech Pakistan rely on scavenging parts from broken equipment to fix consoles, arcade boards, or controllers.
If you come here, he's probably gonna have a board for King of Fighters 95. Anything, you basically just come here, you tell them that this is the retro thing that I need fixed. These are your guys.
This resourcefulness has made gaming possible for as many people as possible. If a cabinet needs to support a 6-button game, drill some more holes. If a game doesn't need all the buttons, put them in an arcade stick.
लोगों को यहाँ पे बहुत मुश्किल है इन चीज़ों की.
Chatterbox says, I feel in my soul there's a joke here to be made about religious fundamentalists in the West freaking out about GTA. Yeah, no, for real. Jesus wouldn't let you play a PlayStation. You should get a PlayStation. Versus, dude, we got to go to Mecca. The kids want a PS5.
₹100 ये जो पार्ट्स हैं ये जब वहाँ से इधर आते हैं तो वो जितनी कीमत का होता है उससे डबल कीमत में पहुँच जाता है. आधे से तकरीबन 70% लोग तो ऐसे हैं जिनके पास इक्विपमेंट ही नहीं है इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे कम्पीट करने के लिए. तो वो देसी यहाँ पे जो भी चीज़ मिलती है उसका बना के उस पर खेलते हैं, प्रैक्टिस करते हैं. उनका शौक देखें आप कि वो उनको कुछ सस्ती चीज़ भी, कोई हल्की चीज़ भी मिल जाए तो वो उसके ऊपर भी खेलना शुरू कर देते हैं, क्योंकि शौक का तो कोई हिसाब नहीं लगा सकता, कोई जिसका जो शौक है उसी हिसाब से वो करता है.
But gear alone doesn't make people good at a game. While Zaman makes and repairs arcade sticks, he also runs Maniac's Gaming Hub, a meeting place for the fighting game community and a training ground for the best players in the country. There's a wall signed by FGC people passing by, and a welcome message still there from when Nee came to visit. It's a place to practice, but also a place to hold tournaments and exhibitions.
ये जो इवेंट है ये मैं एक लीग करवाई है ताकि लोगों को पता लगे कि ये 1 मंथ की लीग है, बैक टू बैक 3 इवेंट्स होंगे इस लीग में.
This has real like underground bootleg pool hall energy, right? Right? Like that's like, is that coming back at you? Like just like absolutely.
ये मैं बेसिकली इसलिए करवा रहा हूँ क्योंकि कम्युनिटी को पता लगे कि इवेंट कैसे होते हैं और बाहर जाकर उन्होंने कैसे खेलना है, कैसे प्रेशर हैंडल करना है. और एक तो जो प्लेयर स्पॉन्सर नहीं है, जिनको पैसों की ज़रूरत है, वो एक तो जीतें और प्राइज़ वगैरह हासिल करें. उनको पता लगे कि यार इस फील्ड में भी पैसा है, इसमें मेहनत करनी चाहिए और इवेंट होते हैं. और मैं जब ईवो गया था और मैंने वहाँ पर देखा कि लोग इस चीज़ को कितना सीरियस लेते हैं, तो मैंने फिर इरादा किया था कि इंशाल्लाह पाकिस्तान जाऊँगा. पहले भी इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज कराता था और अब मैं अच्छे लेवल पे ऑर्गेनाइज करवाऊंगा इवेंट. तो काफ़ी लोगों ने मेरी इसमें हेल्प आउट की है और ये लीग इंशाल्लाह सक्सेसफुल है और आगे भी मैं इसका सीज़न 2 भी करवाऊंगा इंशाल्लाह बहुत जल्द.
ये कम्युनिटी जो है ना, ये अगर इकट्ठी.
Hey, I think Bandai Namco should hold a goddamn event in Pakistan for Tekken 8. I think they should go through the trouble to go and do that because the guys having trouble getting visas out, like, I mean, they're gonna fucking win. Like the Pakistani players are so good that if somebody from a different country wins like the first Tekken 8 tournament, it feels like people are going to say like, oh, the only reason you won is because you won that was because the Pakistani players couldn't make it. You know? Hey guys, can you give me a second? Hey, Huzuzu says that they caved and bought Street Fighter 6. Good for you, Huzuzu. I hope you have fun. Let's backtrack this because I left. Whoops.
की है और ये लीग इंशाल्लाह सक्सेसफुल है और आगे भी मैं इसका सीज़न 2 भी करवाऊंगा इंशाल्लाह बहुत जल्द.
ये कम्युनिटी जो है ना, ये अगर इकट्ठी रहेगी, एक जगह इकट्ठी रहेगी, एक दूसरे का साथ देगी, तो इनको कोई भी नहीं हरा सकता. पाकिस्तान टेकन एक मौजा ही है, ठीक है. अरसलान की जो परफॉर्मेंस है उसने इसको यानी कि अकम्प्लिश किया है और अगर अरसलान ये परफॉर्मेंस ना देता वहाँ पे तो अभी भी हम स्ट्रगल ही कर रहे होते हैं. तो अब पूरी दुनिया की नज़रें हमारी टेकन के ऊपर हैं. इंशाल्लाह ताला लड़के मेहनत कर रहे हैं और आगे निकलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. हर बंदा एक दूसरे से आगे सबकत लेना चाह रहा है.
But as much as I love Tekken and competitive fighting games,
You've never played a Street Fighting game, but you got Street Fighter 6? Fucking good for you, bro. You'll probably have some fun.
I thought calling it a miracle was a bit much. But then I went to Lahore City Square and saw this.
Hey, good for him. Huzzah!
Many thanks to the Pakistani FGC for helping me make this video and bearing with me every time I said a place reminded me of Dark Souls. This was Gerald from Corey Gaming.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Does that feel good? You feel good? Good for these guys. Also good for Gerald. Look at these cool guys. Man, you know what? You know what's like wild every time you see like videos from India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh? Like I'm overwhelmed by how good everybody's hair is. I'm very jealous. I'm very jealous.
The uncle is doing that trick, man. Can you believe that?
All right, so everyone feels good? Everyone feels really good about fighting games and community and fucking good shit? Do you people want to feel bad? Do you want to look at what it's like to feel bad?
Oh my god.
All right, here comes an old match in Third Strike. The Dudley player's the best Dudley player in the entire world. I want you all to remember that. The Dudley player is the best Dudley player in the entire world. Hey, hey, hey. And that's the match! So when we talked about balance a couple last week, and like when I described like Third Strike is not balanced, stuff like that. So what's happening there is Makoto gets her little grab move, and if you're good enough, you only have to do that twice, and you win. That's it. If you're good enough. All right, now we have felt bad. Now we have felt very bad. It's now time to feel really, really good.
All right, that's cool.
Very good. All right, let's go! All right. Let's see this 240p shit. He's got him in the corner. What could happen? Oh, sorry, it's 144. No, it is 240. Ooh, remastered. Oh, good round. Good round. Good round. Oh, here it comes! 3 seconds! 3 seconds! Can he still win? 1 second! Ah! Oh no, it's the instant kill! No! Oh no! How is that real? Okay, I'll show you. So in Fist of the North Star, every time you hit a heavy attack, you add a star to your bar. And when you get enough stars and blow somebody out with a heavy attack, you can do a super move that instantly kills them. Every character has that. And so over the all those rounds, he was gaining these stars, and he just went for it on the first attack. And he did it. All right. That felt really good. That was uplifting for everyone. Now it's time to feel really bad.
The dead angle doesn't bait it. Gets caught low again, has to burst immediately.
Full meter though, full meter! He's gonna have to do, oh he can't, no burst!
So smart!
Oh my
yeah,
God!
He won!
Genius!
Yeah, he
so
won!
Smart. He couldn't burst
he
because
won!
of the super. But Washiga thinks it's over!
Oh no!
He won the last round! And Ogawa doesn't care! He took out 65%!
Oh my God!
Washiga, no!
Washiga, not like this! What are you standing up for?
Standing up for?
Why?
Oh my God! Washiga thought it was over and stood up, and Ogawa gave him no remorse.
That is exactly what happens. Do not celebrate too much. Pop off!
Oh
pop
my
off.
God!
Take it in, flex on him.
Unbelievable. Washige is going to be dreaming about that tonight. Oh my God.
Boy, did you think these were button checks?
Wow.
Oh my
When he
God.
stood up, I thought, all right, he's just real quick going to stand up and sit back down.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Man.
Well, hey, so the worst part is he laughing because he knows, like, he's broadcasted. Everybody's looking at him. He knows it's going to be a big moment. It hit ESPN, right? Like, just, oh my God. Oh my God. Now, the next video is going to be really interesting to see what parts of the next video are no longer relevant. They're hard.
One thing you hear constantly about fighting games is that they're hard.
They are.
Which is often cited as the reason for why there aren't more people playing them. But I don't think the problem is that newcomers can't win. I mean, this is my cousin playing Ultra Street Fighter 4 for the first time on the hardest setting with 2 minutes of coaching. He beat the game in 10 minutes on his first try, getting multiple perfects on the way, and thought it was really easy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, obviously the enjoyment he's going to get out of the game using the lariat trick is going to be very limited, and beating the CPU is about as gratifying as cooking instant ramen.
I like cooking
He needs a
the
human
ramen.
opponent, because in fighting games it takes two to tango, right? So I coached my girlfriend for 2 minutes and had her play him. He won again, but still no satisfaction. This all probably seems really silly, but the point I want to make is that when people say fighting games are hard, they mean it's hard to get to a high enough level to enjoy the game, not necessarily hard to win. But what's making it hard to get to that level, and what can be done about it?
What could
The
be
first
done?
thing people mention is the execution, and it's true. Execution can be very difficult whether it's a special move or a combo. In fighting games that run at 60 frames per second, there are often what's known as one-frame links, which means you have a 60th of a second window to time a hit.
I'm going
Not
to
even the
stop it
best
right
players
there.
know-
Hey, do you know what's a really bad idea for rollback netcode? One-frame links. Bad idea. Fucking rip. Rip. Okay? Real bad. Okay? It's bad for the system. They're still in Street Fighter 6 though? Damn it!
In the world are able to land these all the time, and missing them can cost you the game.
Well, I'm not going to do them.
But because these one-frame links are so hard, newer games like Street Fighter V are widening the window to a minimum of 3-frame links, which is around a 30-second note at 150 BPM for you musicians out there. This is much more doable, and with not too much practice, most people should be able to nail this most of the time. Great, right? Personally, I think we can keep the one-frame links as long as they're not mandatory to get great at the game.
Boo.
In basketball, three-pointers are hard to nail, but Shaquille O'Neal is still a legend while having one of the worst three-point records in NBA history. If we remove the three-point line entirely because people thought it was too hard, then we wouldn't have moments like these.
Parsons for three. It's good.
I don't think difficult execution is a problem, as long as it's not required to be good at the game.
So Abare points out that Street Fighter V and Street Fighter 6 have input buffers, so 1 frame links become 4 or 5 frame links. That's fine. That also works for the netcode, honestly, as well.
Take Ryu's solar plexus move, for example. The easiest thing to do is mash into Dragon Punch, which has a large input window.
That's right.
But if you want that extra damage, you can add an extra hit with a 1 frame link. The key here is that you can choose between the easy and the hard combo. Daigo Umehara mostly goes for the harder combo, and Alex Valle not as much, but both are great players. I hate doing 1 frame links as much as the next guy, but I like them there as an option. But what about the fundamental aspects of the game that define the difficulty of the entry barrier? I'm talking about special moves, blocking, throwing, and things that most fighters share. Well, there seems to be 2 approaches to this. One is to simplify the moves. The free-to-play PC game Rising Thunder has made all special moves available at the touch of a button.
I fucking love Rising
But my favorite
Thunder.
idea that helps newcomers in this game is the ability to choose between an advanced attack canceling system known as Kinetic Advance and the simpler option of Kinetic Deflect, which gets you out of a combo by pressing 2 buttons at once, which is easy to do and gets newbies out of the frustrating situation.
Man, Kinetic Advance and 1 button. Oh my god, this is absolutely fucking Street Fighter 6. Like that is, oh, that's straight up. That's straight up.
Of watching their character get their ass beaten for 10 seconds straight. These measures have definitely gotten some of my friends into the game who otherwise wouldn't have, but I noticed a lot of people were still getting frustrated by classic shenanigans like tick throws and spamming fireballs. So while simplification is one method of drawing people in, education is the other. But this is another huge topic that has many approaches. Personally, I think a well-made video with clear explanations can help a lot. Thankfully, there are more great resources out there than ever before, and most I've seen are made by fans of the game. As great as all this user-made content is, I'd also love to see game companies make some official videos that are linked to the game's tutorial modes. Speaking of tutorial modes, the show Extra Credits has suggested improving tutorial systems and had some interesting ideas on using the single-player mode to do so.
Which Street Fighter 6 does.
You could do things to help make players more aware of how to use these concepts. Things like having the game go into slow motion with a big reversal opportunity flashing on the screen.
Oh my god, Street Fighter 6 totally does. They watched this video! That's exactly what happens when you parry!
And when this concept is introduced.
But more than anything, I think they inadvertently illustrated the biggest reason why fighting games are so hard to enjoy for new people.
The thing to recognize is that fighting games will never reach the audience they could until they do more to help people get to the level where they can experience real fighting game play.
This mentality of you game companies better help us get good, or you won't get as many sales, fails to understand that getting to high-level play is up to the player, not the game companies. I mean, Capcom made an inflation-adjusted amount of $3.5 billion on Street Fighter 2 without any tutorial mode or even a training mode.
Yeah.
Fighting games need to move past being an informational brick wall, and instead graduate their new players from the button masher to the type of player who can think through the problems that a fighting game presents. I propose that single player is the best place to do this, it being the safest space in the game, outside the pressures of competition or other people.
Yes, combos were literally a mistake.
In the game, but you're not getting to high-level play by doing multiple choice quizzes in single-player mode, and that's because it's the safest place in the game. The reason why I think it's so hard to get to that satisfying high level of play in fighting games is because you have to get out of your comfort zone and get bodied by real people over and over again.
You gotta get fucking bodied!
You're playing a one-on-one game where you're represented by a character on the screen who screams in agony when you fail to block, and no one is there to help you. There's no save and reload feature, there are no teammates to share the blame, and when you lose, the game will write a personal message for you in huge letters, and an announcer will read it out loud. You lose. As a bonus, in Mortal Kombat, you get to watch your character die a horrible death, which happens because you failed to defend yourself. Then in order to improve, you have to watch yourself losing all over again in a replay to find out what you did wrong. And on the journey to getting good at the game, real people will insult you for losing, hate you for winning, tell you to quit, and sooner or later, you're going to get taunted and perfected by a young kid, and when you have an emotional reaction to that, you'll be told to man up by an old school veteran who has knife wounds from winning too much in Street Fighter 2 in the 90s at his local liquor store.
Oh, it's the realist! Oh, it's the realist! That's the experience! fucking 8-year-old's gonna embarrass you and you get pissed off about it? Someone like me or Wooly is gonna be like, fucking get good, loser. Ugh.
Okay, now I'm exaggerating, but the point is, no amount of simplifying gameplay and tutorials are going to prevent these kind of things from happening, and in this light, it's understandable why it's so hard to get into fighting games. Being salty is not a great feeling, but you can't avoid it any more than you can avoid falling when learning how to skateboard. Now,
I fucking love that he keeps using that Sanford Kelly clip of Sanford Kelly fucking throwing down that fucking stick. Oh man, like a child.
Painted a pretty grim picture of fighting games, so I want to say the pros definitely outweigh the cons, and that winning the right game can vindicate all the frustration you've been feeling up to that point. And it's something you can be proud of. When you level up in a fighting game, the attributes that improve your play are stored in your own brain, not on some server run by a giant game publisher. There's a unique satisfaction you get from beating an opponent you couldn't beat before, or beating someone you were expected to lose to. As a matter of fact, beating the right person at the right time can start your fighting game career, or at least make you famous as the guy who beat so-and-so. Because matches can be over so quickly in fighting games, the potential for blow-ups and upsets are high, and when they happen, it gets hype as hell. But there's a trade-off. Whenever there's a hype moment, there's going to be a very salty player at the receiving end, which, to be philosophical, completes the yin and yang. So even though learning to get good can be discouraging at times, it's part of the journey, and the vast majority of the people I've met online or in person have been really supportive. And sometimes you'll even have players fighting to teach newcomers how to play the game, which is pretty fitting for this ridiculously competitive community. Let me know what you think is the hardest thing about fighting games in the comments, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and seriously, thanks for helping me get to 10,000
Gerald, there's many
subs.
of your
See you
videos
guys after
still in
Street Fighter
here,
5 comes
actually.
out.
There's like 4 in a row later. All right, so if we're talking about a hype moment in which somebody gets to feel excited and somebody else gets to feel sad, we have this.
Oh, yeah, gets a happy birthday. Let's see if Havoc can bring this back.
It almost has 5 meters. This is actually terrifying. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday. That's not gonna kill, but that's... I didn't think that would kill.
I've never tackled that fucking hard in my life.
God.
My chest hurts.
A lot of people don't know that Sonic Hurricane used to make videos. They did. They were good videos. People used to make these all the time. This is the best combo video I could find. I love meaty fireball into fireball. I also like using the fireball to anti-snapback serve bot. That's the weirdest interaction in Street Fighter 2, man. Shoryuing people into the back of a fireball. And that's why Vism is busted. Don't use Vism, it's too much. Fucking Street Fighter 2 Fireball shit is so goofy. Fucking SVC Chaos is... So I'm going to stop you. How could you defend yourself against those infinites? It seems so impossibly cheap. These are tool assisted. A human being would not be able to perform these. A human being can perform like maybe 1% of these. Like it's just not doable. Desk can do it? Yeah, Desk can do anything. Don't worry about it. 2008 to 2009. Back when people used to make cuts and fucking combo videos. Ah, they got the EX shit in there. Any desk videos in the lineup? I don't know what desk videos to put in. Hey, remember Darun? Darun rules. That's bullshit. Something really funny to me about this dramatic clip. What's funny to me is that Ryu loses this exchange. If you've played Street Fighter 4, you're aware that that Ryu loses this exchange super hard. All right, let me try and. All right, I just threw a bunch of Korea gaming videos in here. So we're just going to go through them.
One of the best things about the fighting genre is character selection.
How does
And
Alpha
one of the
compare?
reasons why Street Fighter II was so influential
Alpha
was
1
simply
is
because
terrible.
both players
Alpha
got
2
to choose
is
from
great.
a large
Alpha
diverse
3 is
roster of
fun.
characters with unique moves and attributes. Most prior games either had a ton of characters you could never play as,
There
or
is a
limited
Leon Massey
roster of
video in
not
here.
so terribly diverse fighters. Nowadays, the character select screen has become a staple of the genre, and a game with 16 characters is considered sparse.
How could you
But while
know?
having a lot of characters
That's
is
too
nice,
many.
it makes it harder to choose one because learning a character is ultimately a time investment. Sometimes you'll find the right character from the beginning.
Oh my gosh, I'm maining him.
I miss Boxer. I want Boxer back. I know Ed's coming back, and that's one thing, but I want Boxer.
People from every skill level often have what's known as a character crisis, so I thought I'd break down the selection process to hopefully make it easier. From speaking with casuals, pros, and everyone in between, I've realized there are really only 3 factors that go into choosing your main, and some are more important than others depending on what your goals are. The first one is perceived strength, and this is why we have what's known as tier lists.
Pick a top
We want
tier,
to
man.
know who has the best chance
Pick a
of
top
winning,
tier.
and that's because we want to win ourselves.
Just what are you doing?
Maybe
Just
it's not
pick
your only
top
goal,
tier.
but no one wants to lose, and I don't think anyone has ever suffered a win. Of course, there are also people who pick characters that are perceived as weak as a source of pride.
You know me as low tier God.
He doesn't play low tier characters. It's the worst part. It's the worst part of his gimmick. He plays top tier characters.
Strategic purposes.
And now Infiltration is going to try to get Piarog with some character unfamiliarity now.
But it's hard to know who's weak and strong because tier lists are always changing as players show what their quote weak characters can do. Even a game like NTSC Melee, which has never had a balance update, still had a tier list shaker 12 years into the game's life. This player is known as Amsa from Japan, and basically took bottom tier Yoshi to mid tier with his parrying technique and strong showings at tournaments like EVO and Apex. Whether tier lists can be trusted or not, they affect the metagame, and it's nice to know you pick someone strong so you don't question your character when you lose.
Yeah, pick Chun-Li. You won't
The
be
downside is the
upset.
chances of opponents having learned the matchup is higher, while the chances are lower for lower tiered characters. And to a certain extent, I think this acts as a self-balancing mechanism because people tend to train more against strong characters and sometimes ignore the weaker ones. But using strong characters doesn't matter if you can't use them well, and this takes us to the second factor you should consider when choosing your main: playstyle. There's an expression in Korean, 손에 맞다, which literally means a character fits your hands. This is an apt expression because characters literally have different hand motions you have to master to get good. Street Fighter V's Chun-Li is considered very strong as of June 2016, but good luck using her if you hate charge motions and doing this. Along with hand motions, playstyle can also refer to the design mechanics of the character. 2 playstyles I can think of off the top of my head are the glass cannon, which either kills quickly or gets killed quickly, and the defensive zoner who wins by wearing you down slowly and pissing everyone off. Playstyle is also reflected by how many tools your character has. Some are dead simple, while others can seemingly do everything. This kind of variety is what I think makes a rich fighting game experience that large amounts of people can enjoy. The third
Seth is
factor
the
that should be
weirdest
considered when
part.
choosing your character is
They're like, let's
character.
make Akuma again.
What I mean is the character's traits, like personality, appearance, story, and even values. This might seem trivial to a lot of people, but if you think
It's
about
not.
it, the character you spend hours training with kind of becomes your avatar, and no one has shown this to be more true than Daigo Umehara. He's been mistakenly called Ryu by commentators. He accidentally reenacted Ryu's Street Fighter II ending at Capcom Cup 2015, and he now has a diorama set with him next to 2 characters he mained in Street Fighter IV, Ryu and Evil Ryu. As intangible as all this may seem, I think playing a character you actually like can affect your attitude and
important.
ultimately influence how well you do.
I don't need a DLC. I think the fact that Karen's in the game, that's all I care about.
And everyone has their own reasons for liking a character, whether it's their fascinating lore, or in Luffy's case, cup size. But it goes the other way as well. A competitive
good old
player once
Adon.
told me he refused to play a character that was strong and that suited him simply because of the sounds he made.
Adon's
Props
cool.
to GamerBee for dealing with that for 6
love Adon.
years. But I digress. Choosing a character because of their character traits makes sense because you have to live with them. And while it may seem superficial and noob-like, many pros are doing this as well. and I think there's
I
a
think
reason
Idon's
for
a
it.
cool guy.
Playstyle and character are inextricably related, and at times even their strength and tier are determined by the other two factors. A good example of this is when characters have an evil counterpart. It's kind of a trope in fighting games now, but let's take a look at Ryu and Akuma. Ryu is a virtuous Shotokan karate practitioner who seeks to improve through honest battles. If you look at his playstyle, his moves represent the fundamental mechanics of the game, with no surprises and no shenanigans, which is why he's often considered an honest character. In tier lists, he often ends up being mid to upper mid tier, and is usually an all-rounder. The character Akuma, on the other hand, also practices Shotokan karate, but is consumed by the dark energy known as Satsui no Hado that makes him super evil. How does this evil translate to his playstyle? Well, for one, he has abilities that broke the game of his debut appearance, which got him banned from tournaments. While Akuma's been more fairly balanced in later incarnations, he still has a reputation of being cheap and dirty, and it makes perfect sense that he's been adopted by Japanese fighting game god Tokido, a player who has no shame in playing like this.
Capitalize. Uh-oh.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Oh!
Oh, John manages to block that one. Big uppercut doesn't connect. Oh, it's right back to it.
Oh, it's so disgusting!
Oh, Tokido, dirty.
Aside from evil characters, it's also no accident that a huge guy like Zangief is slow and able to withstand more damage, while controversially, the women in Street Fighter games generally have less health. Head developer Yoshiki Okamoto wanted to make Chun-Li's life bar shorter because he believed women are not as strong. Other than the fact that he's probably not going to be invited to Anita Sarkeesian's birthday party, he shows that developers do consider playstyle based on the character's character. As for the character's strength and tier, it's looking like developers are taking game balance more seriously, which is why you'll have incongruent things like Akuma's final form actually being kind of weak.
Oh yeah.
Despite what people tell you, Oni is not banned and he never will be. Personally, I feel that a playstyle that suits you and a character you like are equally very important, while perceived strength doesn't really matter much at all. Unless you're striving to be a pro gamer, it really shouldn't affect your decision, and even then, many pros don't even pick characters they think are the strongest. But that's just what I think. Let me know in the comments
Pick the character you think is cool!
This was Gerald from Korea Gaming. Thanks for watching, and thanks for helping this channel get to 30,000
Pick the character you think is cool. Unless it's this character.
Dear Harada, I beseech thee, I beg for just a crumb of buff. What must I ask of you to lay claim to any sense of value?
Sapa the shit does head down. And don't ask me how shit.
In any fighting game, you're inevitably going to have some characters that are strong and some characters that are weak. However, sometimes there's weak and then there's this. Welcome to the low world of bottom tiers, a place for masochists or a place for the strong to know what it feels like to be frightfully undermatched. So what makes a bottom tier?
The
modern bottom tier can still do bits, but typically a player that understands the matchup can abuse large blind spots in the character's kit to make it so that they're more frequently in a position where the bottom tier can't abuse their strengths. If you're playing a game made after 2015, chances are you're playing a game without a solid bottom tier, but instead varying degrees of not as good tier. But true bottom tiers are frightfully lacking and almost incapable of getting any work done. In the current day, most games are designed to be patched, and so any character that isn't playable at one point will eventually be at least competent. Just look at Street Fighter V. The bottom tiers changed so much because of patching that it's like rolling a dice between who's arse this season. So much so that characters with really good fundamentals and tools to deal with almost every situation can still be considered unplayable, garbage, dumpster fires of characters, which is—
That's like 3 videos in fucking a week that uses the fucking Sanford fucking clip.
the reason that most of the time when people talk about fighting game characters in the current day, they say just pick who you like, because until you reach a certain level of play, tier lists mean nothing to you. The statement pick a top tier doesn't hold as much weight and relevance to as many people anymore, because the games are in a position where almost every character in the cast can at least hold their own a decent amount of the time, even if there are matchups that make you want to cry. That said, they did do my boy Krillin dirty for like a year and a half, so I don't know. But things start to go really dirty when you start to go back in time. You don't even have to go that far back. Look at Hugo in Ultra 4. This man's so big he could be mistaken for a skyscraper. He's useless without meter, and he's got the mobility of a cardboard box. Why can I shoot a fireball and it covers like 3 options? What the fuck? Hugo suffers from a laser-focused character type that doesn't have much flexibility. He's intentionally designed to be a slow tank that has to work hard to get in, and doesn't really do much of anything until that point. The strategies that characters of this type can employ aren't very diverse, and because of that, if they're put in a game with systems that don't allow them to quickly gain some ground, they start to fumble. But at least Hugo can do things. He's got a damage output that makes it so that when he does find his opening once in a blue moon, he can lay damage down, and so the appeal comes in working hard to get in, but being rewarded very hard once you are in. Thankfully, the people who like characters with this kind of laser-focused character design aren't expecting them to be top tier, though they're probably so focused on enjoying the character that they probably don't really know what the tier list is. This kind of bottom tier is flawed, but I wouldn't say is flawed in a bad way, since the characters that they embody should inherently struggle since they're focused around specific ways of thinking and appealing to particular groups of players. Typically, this ends up being the grapplers, which, sorry fellas, but you deserve it. I'm not trying to deal with this shit. But low tiers can go lower, and I don't mean the same way that like a joke character can, like the cats in Melty. I mean real, meant to be played characters.
How low can we
lower
go?
Than Hugo, lower than Gigas. Oh, they can go real low. At least they're not this. No, move the camera over to the left a little. Oh god, ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, I've brought you here today to discuss the most functional low tier you've ever seen. No, not him, actually. Oddly enough, he's really good. You know, in most games, the very bottom tier is due to relativistic factors. Yeah, this character might suck, but it's not because they're inherently awful, it's because they're surrounded by characters that can do what they do, but more consistently, with a higher degree of safety. Just get rewarded for it better, you know, stuff like that. And there's ways that you can play that bring out some of the strengths of those characters. Maybe they've got some good matchups here and there without real reason. There's some room for debate about who the worst character could be, like some Marvel 3 tier lists debate that the Darkstalker's girl that I can't remember the name of isn't the worst. They're wrong, but there is some debate. And then in team games like KOF, you might have a dog shit character, but you can sandwich them between two good characters and pretend you're playing a 2v3 game and make them useful as a punching bag. Or someone to kind of figure out player tendencies without really sacrificing that much, since you know that they're gonna die anyway. Like, Chin might be shit here, but at least you can use them to figure out what your opponent can and can't respond to, even if he does move around like a sloth that's got a bit too friendly with a high-speed truck. Also, he's got the best sound effect in the game, I'm just saying. But this guy is so pitiful that there's almost no question that he's the worst, and no, I won't take Hugo as a rebuttal.
No,
if you've never played through S, you probably know him for this for some fucking reason, but you'd be surprised at just how shockingly non-functional this character is. He can't poke, he can't do set play, he can't zone, he can't play neutral. Trying to play 12 is like trying to survive jumping off a 30-story building with no parachute. Alright, well, I guess that doesn't help my point. You know, most of the time when we're talking about broken characters, you're thinking about characters like Pet Shop that just take control away from your opponent, or like every character in HNK where they get progressively worse the less broken they are. But 12, he's broken like you might as well have just given your opponent your stick and said, fuck it, you do you. But maybe he's got some like hidden qualities. Yeah, sure, he can't cancel any of his good normals into his specials, and he doesn't have any meaningful combo routes at all. Seriously, this is like max damage without meter. You know what? I can't do this. Let's break down just how much of a walking car crash this character really is. Be warned, I'm about to get very angry over this blob. Hey, you ever wanted to fire a projectile at full screen?
On hit. On hit.
Don't. This is happening because when you hit your opponent, you're so minus that you're still recovering from the move for a very significant amount of time. So even if you don't get punished, your opponent will start winning neutral from there. Alright, no meaningful play at full screen. That's fine. Let's look at his mid-screen options.
On hit.
Don't. Okay, to be fair, mid-screen he does actually have one really good button in standing medium punch, since it controls a decent amount of the screen as well as recovering fast, allowing you to gain a decent amount of meter and also make it tricky for them to approach. The issue from this point is that he has nothing else to threaten with after the medium punch. Like if we compare this to a similar move like Ken's crouching medium kick, it starts to box them out kind of like 12's and puts most characters back at a distance where Ken can respond to every situation. If you threaten with this move enough, you'll start to gain a significant amount of meter, and then you can start making this move really deadly by buffering and a super behind it. So if someone walks into you, they're going to take massive damage, so this move has immediate and long-term reward. The immediate being pushing your opponent back, being able to set up for a really strong anti-air, going for a jump in yourself, or resetting again for another crouching medium kick. The long-term being meter building and making these exact same situations more dangerous in the future. 12's puts you back in neutral where you're losing. Okay, it does set up the same distance that we talked about, but there's no new dangers behind any of these cycles since the damage is so low and normally puts you back at more risk than your opponent. If you jump in on 12, yeah, he does have an okay anti-air, but without any damage behind any of these moves and no mix-ups immediately,
he does not have an okay
but without
anti-air.
any damage.
I want, like, we'll slow this right the fuck. Is there a way to do this frame by frame? Is there a way to fucking what's the common period? Okay. Look at that good ass. Look at that good ass fucking anti-air.
Find any of these moves and no mix-ups immediately to follow or hard knockdowns unless you're using his most committal anti-air to start set play. It makes it really hard to consider any of these real dominant moves since the risk reward is always in your opponent's favor. And then you get to this range and it's just, oh, what the fuck? This is my best close range combo. No knockdown, no damage, and unless you're so close to the opponent that you're basically conjoined, you come out -2, so you know what that means. Just an admittedly really fast leg and we're done, which is great as a get off me move, but it puts you back in a situation where you're immediately losing because your next hit will either be insubstantial or puts 12 at disadvantage. What's frustrating?
15 on hit. I'm fucking hit. Why?
Is that this character on paper could have been good. If he had more ways to get his opponent into a hard knockdown, say with like EX Squidward hands, he could have at least been an underwhelming but still fun.
Can I explain the minus thing? All right, Blue the Wiz. Okay, so time in fighting games is measured by frames. There's 60 frames in 1 second. So when you say something's +5, it means when I hit you, I recover 5 frames before you. If I said it was -10, that means I would recover 10 frames after you, which means you have the advantage. The fact is that he's so bad that when he hits you properly, he's 1/4 of a second behind you in recovery. He is unsafe upon hitting you properly.
Functional rushdown character since his little air dash does give him at least interesting mix-up potential. But this lack of a solid goal to work towards builds into a game plan that feels really vague, like do I play responsively poorly on this character or do I just lose every engagement aggressively? Which isn't how characters that have a specific appeal should be made. Like Carmine might have issues when it comes to this kind of distance since he doesn't really have any panic moves, but he's clearly defined by the goal of set play and lockdown, so these kinds of issues are justified, since these problems are the points that are the weakness to his goals. Yin and yang and all that bullshit, but what goals can 12 work towards? Because in reality, none of what you achieve will help you that much. From what I can tell, they wanted 12 to be a mix-up focused, low damage rushdown character, which I think is implied by the air dash.
Hey, do you guys like the fact that Marissa's suit looks like Urian's suit? And she's like the new generation of Urian. I'm a big fan.
In the invisibility taunt. Oh yeah, he can go invisible. Honestly, it's not even that good since you can never set it up, and if you do want to use it, you have to sacrifice Oki for it. It might be the case that other characters in games also have this low tier because of the same lack of reward, but at least they have clear goals and tools to make it so that once they're finally in a position, they can make it so that they can do their job, which is implied by their tools. Okay, yeah, you've got a good grab. In fact, it's really good. It gives knockdown, and the back throw sends them so far away that you at least gain positional advantage, and in the corner you can get a really dirty mix-up with Oki. However, even this isn't that good, since if your mix-up after isn't a grab, you're going to put yourself back at disadvantage. It's like trying to make money at the casino by flipping a coin, but heads you double your money, and tails you have to sell a limb. I'm convinced that people that play this character are sexually attracted to the idea of being a bottom bitch, except me, because this character always makes you feel like you're losing right up until you KO. And then you're struggling all the way through neutral, and you finally get super, and you just... It never fucking connects. This character it's just booty bungus. While other bottom tiers are bad because of their relative inadequacy, this character is just a dumpster baby because he hardly functions. You know this character's best super? It's the super where he turns into someone fucking else. Yeah. That's not a joke. That's not a shitty attempt to get him off. That's a real thing. This character has problems, which turns this character into a joke really, and not in the same way that Dr. B or Dan are designed to intentionally be bad. Now you're in a mirror match, but you're deciding to mirror match them with a worse version of themselves, since you're only in the mirror after a full bar of meter and you've got the HP of a housefly without wings. And so you have to ask the question, why pick this character at all? Because I can think of plenty of reasons to not play him, like how every other character can do the same thing as him but better. Let's take his best option and compare it to another character, like only one step up the tier list. Let's compare it to Necro. If you like the way that his standing medium punch works, you'll probably find much more success with Necro. Necro's standing medium punch is a tad faster but covers generally the same space, but has a massive massive benefit that 12s doesn't. It can actually do some fucking damage, because even though it does less actual damage, it gives you better frame advantage, but can also be swapped out for back medium punch on command. But 12s requires a proximity input, which is an even faster method of gaining meter, and when this move connects, it can be special cancelled into, which allows you to get knocked down, and also you can EX it, which makes it so that you get extra damage out of it, and if you don't EX into it, you can special cancel into the medium punch version, which gives you a super cancel at the end. Why can 12 not do any of this? And so I ask again.
It's extra stupid because Necro is 11. And is supposed to be a weaker version of 12, but he's way better.
Why pick this character at all? Well, I mean, look at him. Isn't he adorable? He's like the fighting game equivalent of a pug, a horrid abomination of all that's wrong with the world.
I love
but
Pug. I saw Pug the other day.
He's just so cute.
He was a baby.
There's a certain charm to his non-functionality. Yeah, I could pick up literally anyone else in the game, and in tournament, you're fucking crazy if you're thinking I'm picking this piece of shit. But that difficulty of a character that is consistently worse than your opponents in every way is engaging if you want a serious challenge, and makes any victory, even those little achievements that aren't really
Necro's not
victories,
11,
feel
I'm sorry.
much more satisfying.
But he's
the best way that
like
I can think
Necro's
of it
one of
for
the
those of you
weirdos.
who might not get it
Like
is it's the same feeling that you get after playing
10.
Dark Souls. You take on these mammoth creatures, and part of the satisfaction comes from how outmatched you feel and that bizarre relief/power trip that comes after victory. And would he really have that charm if he was good? Like, would people enjoy Anakaris if he was top tier? Probably not. They'd probably think he's really annoying and weird, and same goes for 12. This character sucks, and unlike Gigas at the start of this video, it's 12's destiny to be Third Strike's beloved bottom tier, resigned to a world of failure, never to see the light of success. To me, 12 is the example of what separates low to bottom tier.
Yeah.
Low tiers are characters that have severe flaws but are also able to push their strengths. Generally, they are rewarded, but they aren't rewarded well enough to the rest of the cast to justify picking them or considering them as much of a threat as other characters. Bottom tiers are characters that see almost no return for their effort, lack tools to create rewarding situations, and are directionless in game plan because of those two previously mentioned issues. So in summary, just pick a top tier.
Just pick a top tier. Just pick a top tier. All right, hold up. I'm gonna go find a video. Excuse me. I'm gonna go find a video. I gotta find it. Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Safe.
Gotta watch it. Gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's like a -1 or something.
Oh, we got a raid. Hey,
Right
who's
now.
raiding? Whoa. Oh, Jenna Lynn Miari. Hey, Jenna, how you doing? We're just watching stupid fighting game shit and people throw tantrums.
Anybody's game though. EX safe again. Oh, it's overhead. Not over.
You want to see a good ass tantrum?
Maybe it would have been over.
Get ready for this.
Nice roll. Oh! Not enough. Now what? Oh, Suave with the read on that.
Sanford, you look mad.
Seriously,
You look mad,
there
Sanford.
is no health on his life bar right now. Crazy, dude. Wow.
Yo.
Incredible match. Sanford has to be. He's got to be sad.
Oh, what can happen?
He hadn't won the previous round.
Wow,
Whoa,
he
he
threw a stick.
He is
What are you
that
doing?
salty.
Wow. He's with his buttons too. I hope that's not next level stick.
It might be.
Oh, man. Oh, I fucking love it. Oh, it's great. Oh, let's show it again.
Incredible match. Sanford has to be. He's got to be sad. He got to be salty after that because he hadn't won the previous round.
Wow,
Whoa, he threw a stick. He is
What are you
that
doing?
salty.
Wow. He just broke his buttons too. I hope that's not next level
Oh,
stick.
look, he's trying. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Ah, I love it. He cracked the floor doing that? Jeez, Sanford. Come on. What are you, a Smash Bros. Player? Come on. Hey, get out of here. All right. Well, now that we have these new raiders, we got these new people in here. You might as well. I'm going to skip to a new thing. Hey, we're talking about fighting games a lot, so maybe we should find out why fighting games are actually worth playing.
That's it! Tokido is the Evolution 2017 champion!
Okay, step one, because they're fun.
Immediately after winning EVO 2017 in Street Fighter V, Japanese fighting game legend Taniguchi Hajime, better known as Takedo, had one thing he wanted to say.
Fighting game is something
Bad.
So
great.
They're great
great.
for many different reasons, and one person's reason for finding them great
They're
is
good.
often different from another's. I'm Patrick Miller for Core Gaming.
Hey,
And
other
this
Patrick.
video is going to talk about the things that make fighting
People named
games
Patrick
worth
are
it.
really cool.
Reason number 1: learning to do hard stuff is cool as hell. Fighting games are real hard. They may look like a street fight or an anime battle, but when we're playing fighting games, we're practicing our ability to perform very abstract combinations of solving math problems,
Oh, no, not
reading
math,
emotions,
no!
and executing complicated physical tasks all at the same time. When you're playing neutral, you're looking at your opponent's movement, anticipating their future position, choosing a place on the screen to move your character to, and selecting the attack that will collide a hitbox with their hurtbox before
Stop
they
thinking
do
about
the same
math.
to
It's
you.
not math.
In other words, geometry.
No!
When you're playing with pressure strings on attack and defense, you're flexing your ability to look for patterns in a statistics and probability set. Fighting games are competitive speed math, and I think this is really cool.
Don't think about
I have
it.
never done well in math class, and I don't enjoy doing math problems, but I love playing fighting games. This is because
Just
unlike
unga
math
it.
class, we're not just doing math with a brain and a pencil.
Just bunga
You're
it.
doing it with your hands. You may be really fast with your math, but it doesn't matter unless you can execute your answer with pinpoint accuracy and
Don't
timing.
forget your
Learning how to do
ungamentals.
high-speed
You're right,
geometry
Ryu.
through a collection of buttons and levers will force you to understand and strengthen your brain-body connection, just like music.
I forgot that this wasn't a
dance,
Gerald one. Sorry,
sports.
other Patrick. All right, we're all gonna have to deal with this very soon. I'm sorry.
Anyone who's ever played a fighting game has run into a move they thought was cheap, overpowered,
This is
or
going to
even
happen
broken.
soon.
But how do we know if a move is actually too powerful or if
To
the player
all
is
of
just
us.
being a giant crybaby? Of course, anyone can tell why this move is powerful.
This is going to happen to us
But not as many can
tomorrow.
understand why this is powerful.
Okay.
Some things like damage and range are clearly visible to the average spectator, but the stuff you can't see is usually where the supposed cheapness happens. I'm of course talking about frame data, the backbone of how fighting
more
works
math!
in games. Frame data is something that fascinates me and bores people to death at the same time, and it certainly doesn't sound as sexy as other fighting game concepts like Guard Crush or Sex Kick. While you
good
don't
old
have to
Sex
be a
Kick.
frame data god to enjoy these games, I feel that just understanding some basic concepts can help you realize the true potential of a move. Also, your whining will be rooted in more theory, and what's not to like about that? I'm going to start with hitboxes and hurtboxes. Often when you punch someone in a game, you're not actually hitting them with your fist. You're hitting them with an invisible hitbox, which is this red thing.
Yeah,
When you
hit 'em with
get
the red
hit,
thing.
It's not your body that gets hit, it's your hurtbox. Depending on the game, the hit and hurt boxes more or less accurately coincide with the character animations. In Mortal Kombat X, the hurt boxes are directly attached to the actual 3D player model, which means you can be standing idle, but still have your hurt box moving because of your breathing animation.
That's stupid.
The way you design these hit and hurt boxes affect the way the game feels, and is a way to make a move more powerful or weaker by changing their sizes. Generally, the cheaper move will trend towards a bigger hitbox and a smaller hurt box. In addition to boxes, nearly every attack in a fighting game has 3 phases. They're called the startup, active, and recovery frames. But I think it helps to look at it as simply beginning, middle, and end. If you watch this famous clip of Holly Holm kicking Ronda Rousey in the head, the startup would be where she begins her kick and lifts her leg up. The active frames would be when her foot is capable of causing damage, and the recovery frames would be her leg going back down. Of course, each part of the kick has to be measured with a unit of time, and coincidentally we can use frames per second because this video clip and most fighting games run at 60 frames per second. So why does the duration of time for each phase of an attack matter? I think the best way to explain this is to use examples outside of hand-to-hand combat. Let's begin with startup frames. If you've ever seen a Civil War movie, it's immediately obvious why we don't use rifle muskets anymore.
Yeah, they suck ass.
It has a ridiculous startup time, and by the time you're able to do any damage, you might already be dead. When it comes to startup, we want it to be faster! But while loading a rifle musket takes a long time, firing it takes a fraction of a second. The time that the bullet is in the air is what we can call active frames, also known as the only time when an attack can do damage.
Pow!
The red hitbox that I showed you earlier
Take that,
represents the
Sonya.
active frames, and you'll notice they only appear for a short period of time. Having lots of active frames can be good because the chances of your opponent getting hit by your attack is higher. While flying bullets and kicks have a small amount of active frames, some weapons have a ton of active frames. For example, a flamethrower. As long as the flame is out there, it'll be capable of doing damage in a way that just sticking your leg out there would not. It's no accident that Dalsum's Yoga Flame has a lot of active frames and is what makes this move powerful. Of course, the ultimate active frame weapon would be the lightsaber, because it's always lethal whether you swing it or not.
It's always on.
Kendo teachers have actually pointed out that a real lightsaber fight would be more like a mix of kendo and fencing rather than the flashy swordplay you see in Star Wars. After the active frames, the third and final part of the attack is recovery frames. To explain this one, I'm going to go to baseball. A typical swing in baseball has what's known as the follow-through.
Step 7 is follow through.
And this would be called recovery frames in a fighting game. With the amount of force you're exerting, you have to wait until your follow-through or recovery frames are finished before you can do anything else, such as run towards first base or block. It's unavoidable because physics. But what if you want to hit the ball without all these time-consuming recovery frames? One way to do it is this. Aha! It requires much less force, thus requiring little to no follow-through. Of course, you're not going to hit any home runs while bunting, but you're able to run immediately after the ball makes contact with the bat, making it a decent strategy to just get to first base. But what if you want to do a hard swing and have the lack of recovery frames of a bunt? Well, in Street Fighter 4, you could do this with what's known as FADC, or Focus Attack Dash Cancel. The key word here is cancel, which means you can do a hard-hitting move and bypass the recovery frame so that you can begin your next move immediately. If this existed in baseball, it might look like this.
A war hero.
That's so cool! That's such a good fucking edit! That's such a good fucking edit!
It might look like this.
A war hero as Derek Jeter hits one deep to center field. De Jesus back, still back, track, wall!
Canceling is a huge part of fighting games, and they were originally an unintended side effect in Street Fighter 2, originating from its input leniency algorithm. Now with startup, active, and recovery frames out of the way, there are just two more concepts to understand, and that's hit stun and block stun. If you've ever played a beat-em-up game, you've seen this before.
We watched the
one
netcode one
and watch them have
last
a
week.
seizure where they can't do anything for a short period of time. The state is aptly called hit stun, where you can't block and are completely vulnerable to getting smacked again. As you might have guessed, this is how combos can happen in games and in real life. If your attack causes enough hit stun and your next attack has a fast enough startup, you will do a combo. If not, your opponent will have enough time to recover and block the next hit. Block stun is the same concept, except, you guessed it, they're blocking. If your attack causes little block stun and your attack has a lot of recovery, expect your opponent to hit you with a counter attack. If you've ever pondered about how ridiculous beat-em-up games are by the fact that one dude can slaughter hundreds of henchmen, it's because your dude, or waifu, has a super fast startup, lots of active frames, short recovery, and causes a shit ton of hit stun and block stun. Basically, you are overpowered, and honestly, this feels fun as hell in a single-player or co-op environment.
Sure does.
But these beat-em-up mechanics would make for a lousy fighting game, as some of you might have found out when having to commit fratricide at the end of two-player Double Dragon. There's actually a fine line between a fighting game and a beat-em-up, and at one point the two terms were used interchangeably to refer to the same genre. And games like Pit Fighter really blurred the lines by having both cooperative play and versus play in the same game mode. What finally made the distinction of the fighting genre clear was when games focused on the versus play more than single player or co-op, which suddenly made balance a crucial issue. A CPU boss isn't going to complain when you do broken shit like this to him. But beating a human opponent like that might cause this to happen. Now I understand fighting games being a little broken can be fun, but that's a topic for another video. The point I want to make is that the emphasis on balance through frame data and hitboxes is what brings a game closer to the fighting genre. This is why I think it'd be hard to call World of Warcraft PvP a fighting game, even though it has frame data and hitboxes. It's just not emphasized in a way where people have mapped out entire charts of frame data for nearly every attack and animation, and this is if it's not already in the game. Because the competitive players are the best at finding overpowered moves, they're often hired to help with the development, and this is not too unlike how nefarious hackers end up getting a job doing cybersecurity in the FBI, minus the THC issue. Let me know what your favorite overpowered fighting game move is in the comments. This was Gerald from Corey Gaming. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.
Yay! Hey guys, I gotta take a quick break. I will be right back. Excuse me. All right, folks, we're back. We have one more Core A Gaming video that I threw in there. And after that, we will be switching over to a different kind of fighting game content that a couple of you are clearly familiar with. This is a very important video.
What's the first thing you think of when you hear the term Ken combo? Some of you may have imagined Ken Masters, and some will have imagined Ken Huang. Our language, customs, and traditions that show others what tribes we belong to are called shibboleths.
Then the Smash community comes in and they don't have casual matches. They have something else. What is
They're called friendlies.
Friendlies! Being part of an in-group or out-group is important to us because it determines our identity, friends, values, purpose, and if we'll risk our lives for our country.
They're saps because they risk their lives for strangers.
Oh, that's Pop talking.
Your country ain't your blood, you remember that.
I don't feel that way.
Fortunately, in times of peace, our loyalty to a group doesn't have to be tested so much by life or death situations, but nonetheless we want to prove it in other ways. This comes from the need to belong, and it's why people will lie about having heard of bands that don't exist.
Are you guys as excited as I am about the obesity epidemic?
I just like their whole style, like their whole genre is just great.
These cooler, exclusive groups we want to be a part of are called inner rings, and C.S. Lewis has described our desire to join them as a permanent mainspring of human action, suggesting it's hardwired into us.
I want to be a blue check mark. I want to be a blue check mark. Those blue check mark elitists are pieces of shit. What do you mean you don't want to be a blue check mark? Blue check, no! Don't make fun, no!
Just think about how many Hollywood films are about an outsider.
That's my family, Kate. It's not me.
Who enters a wildly different culture, learns its ways, and then becomes accepted as an honored member. Essentially, what people are looking for is community. But why community instead of merely a group of people with similar interests? According to Charles Vogel, a community is a group of individuals who share a mutual concern for one another's welfare. In other words, there are people you can call family, brothers, or simply homies. This is why it's difficult to call Costco members a community.
It's not.
Costco members share similar interests like saving money on bulk goods, but they don't have each other's backs. If you mess with one Costco member, you are not messing with all of them. It's much harder to say the same about families, furries, militaries, Jedis, religions, activist groups, and bands. And yes, like Tenacious D, only 2 people are required to start a community. Add something to bond over, say a 2-player competitive game that people love so much they regularly meet in person and literally rub shoulders, and you might become friends for life. So where do homies hang out? A temple, of course.
Of course.
While you might be thinking of the religious kind, a temple at its core is simply a place for people with shared values to gather offline or online. This might be an arcade, your living room, a hotel ballroom, a Discord, or even the bathroom if you're a multi-blood player.
Yeah! Yeah!
Inside a temple is where a community performs their favorite activities and rituals. You need a temple because it's much more fun to perform rituals where everyone understands what's happening rather than doing them in front of outsiders with little to no context.
Nice to meet you and your special language.
In a temple, people understand why you're still using old technology, why you are not using the elbow rule, and why you play video games for more than 20 hours a week. Basically, it's a place where you don't have to explain yourself, and this is an amazing feeling.
Bro, I stream video games for more than 20 hours a week. I have a problem.
So how do you sign up? As much as communities pride themselves on welcoming everyone, the truth is all communities have boundaries. If everyone belonged in your community, then there'd be no such thing as joining it, and its leaders would technically be the leaders of everyone, which makes no sense. Boundaries are formed by a collection of shared values, but just mutually liking something doesn't necessarily make you a member.
I don't know, growing up playing, I like Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 2 sold more than Zelda on the Super Nintendo, but that doesn't mean all 6 million of those people who bought it are original fighting game community members.
No. Scarlett Johansson, no. Jamie Lee Curtis, yes.
Now, of course, pretty much anyone is allowed to participate in FGC events and are often encouraged to do so, but no invitation required is not the same as everyone belongs. This is an important distinction. Boundaries mean there must be
That is such a goddamn great fucking photo. That is such a goddamn great fucking photo. Where did you find this cool photo of Jeff Bezos?
This is an important distinction.
And yes,
boundaries
it's the
mean
ghost
there
of
must
Marvel!
be gatekeepers, and even when it's not so clear who they are, like in organized religions, the gatekeepers are there, and they will
Look at
ban
him
your
go!
ass if you step on certain values. At Canada Cup, 2 Marvel players were banned for life by the tournament organizer because one of them entered as 2 different people by playing as the other person. Not to cheat, but just for fun. This screwed up the tournament outcome for many entrants, including people who traveled around the world to play. This punishment may seem harsh, but the pillar of competitive integrity that holds up the community was directly threatened in a way other types of violations did not. This is why allegations of treason can get you banned from your country, while indiscriminately murdering over 30 women won't. The gatekeepers must protect the inner ring from people who do not understand community values, or else the existing members may begin to question their authority. But things like gatekeepers and boundaries can make people feel unwelcome, and it's why we get anxiety when we visit a new scene, move to a new town, or visit a new planet.
I'll be careful.
RoboToken asks a great question. Who or what is the ghost of Marvel? We will find that out shortly.
We'll be dead! But a community that's too exclusive can risk turning into a clique. If people with shared community values start getting frozen out for trivial or personal reasons, the members will question what the true values are and who actually has authority. So how do you make your community inclusive while still protecting boundaries? You do it by having what's known as an outer ring. The outer ring is a welcome place.
I want to point out this is also a step-by-step guide on how to form a cult, just if you're interested.
For outsiders to test the waters and see if this community is something they want to be a part of. In the FGC, open tournaments and fighting game centers are great for this because they allow new people to enter the temple, watch the rituals, and play in the same tournament with everyone else, including the best in the world. The beauty of this outer ring is that there's a clear but challenging path towards the inner ring of the FGC, and this is a key to a strong community. A hazy path where members are unsure how to advance will just make them leave. So how do you advance inwards? Basically, with contributions and commitments that the community values. This can come in the form of playing, commentating, being around for a long time, volunteer work, showing up to temples, making content, tournament organizing, or even knowing the history, which is something many countries require before naturalizing immigrants.
All right, here's your last question. What was the cause of the Civil War?
Stories are some of the best ways to impart community values, and vulnerability stories are some of the best ways to deepen connections.
These are the 3 biggest blow-ups over the last 15 years. There are so many other mistakes we've made.
In 2006, the Evo guys had 10 hours to find 32 CRT televisions because their vendor told them they only had plasma screens available at the last second.
He's like, actually, we don't have enough CRTs.
Like most of life's problems, this one was solved with Walmart and a giant truck.
That's a very young Seth Killian loading TVs into this truck. It took a while. We started getting a little sleepy. There's James.
As they drove to the venue with the TVs, the clutch on the truck blew out.
And so that means that if this truck ever stops, it's not gonna start again.
And of course, there's a toll booth up ahead, which Seth Killian drives up to first and says,
"There's a truck behind us, and it can't stop." And the toll is like $2. He says, "Here's $20. This is for us and the truck behind us."
The story serves to deepen connections, but it also shows how much the community
They saved
values low
Evo!
input lag because plasma TVs were terrible for this. When stories are made about a member because their contributions and commitments are so exceptional, you have what's known as a legend, also known as a saint in religious contexts. Legends are highly respected influencers and role models that can inspire people to play certain characters, certain games, or buy certain batteries.
How about a little one-on-one?
On your journey towards the inner ring, not only will you learn its history, you will pick up shibboleths, symbols, and tokens that show others that you belong. Of course, the most meaningful tokens are the ones that are given to you by a prominent community member.
What is it? Father's lightsaber.
Each advancement to an inner ring will increase your influence, and if the community is mature, your concern for other members should increase accordingly.
Because a man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
When you've really proven yourself, you might go through a rite of passage ceremony that officially marks your transition from an outer ring towards an inner ring. Initiation rituals come in many different types, but some can be pretty severe. Sharing painful experiences can enhance pro-group behavior, but when you need loyalty immediately, you end up with hazing rituals that get people killed every year.
A sophomore engineering major from New Jersey who, according to his family attorney, just wanted to belong.
So, in fighting games, you can travel all the way to Vegas, have get drunk, sleep like shit, and drown in pools with 1,000 other people who all wonder, why the fuck did I even come to this fucking thing? And in your commiseration, you will find community.
Fortunately, most initiations don't attempt to maximize solidarity in one college semester. In the FGC, it takes more time because initiation is dependent on skill. You can tell because the best players receive the most sacred tokens during a ceremony known as Top 8. Trophies are powerful tokens of belonging because not just anyone can get one. Jeff Bezos is worth over $150 billion right now, but he's not going to win that major Tekken trophy until he learns how to deal with Lil Majin, just like everyone
Too bad,
else.
Jeff!
JDCR! Oh, he gets it! One more hit can do it! Oh my God!
But as the community builds itself bigger and bigger, its stars get more recognition in the media, and with fame comes business opportunities.
It's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business.
This makes fighting game competitions more profitable by entertaining subjects playing overly repetitive, tedious software, esports. Esports is kind of like Hollywood. When a player or game rises to stardom in the FGC, they'll get invited to other seemingly cooler and more exclusive inner rings.
Justin Wong is free.
Rumor has it their bathrooms are never used as temples, and they have rituals called invitationals that only allow a select few stars to participate, increasing their screen time and attracting more sponsors. A lot about these esports inner rings will overlap with the FGC, but their gatekeepers, symbols, and values are going to be different.
Hit him in that Krispy Kreme gut. Okay, nice kick, Chuck.
As esports circles focus more on invitationals while the FGC continues their 1,000-person open competitions, there's going to be a values debate between the two. And on some level, there's a you versus the guy she told you not to worry about situation because she's now spending time with guys whose parents are worth up to $28 billion. But the question is, do you be more like him, or do you keep doing you? If enough community influencers disagree on values, there could be a schism. After all, this is exactly what happened to Western Christianity. In the 16th century, the Catholic Church would grant people what was known as indulgences that would reduce their punishment in the afterlife. This wasn't so much a problem until certain clergymen started selling these indulgences and turning salvation into a business. This inspired the theologian Martin Luther to write the 95 Theses, which claimed that indulgences were a pay-to-win mechanic that benefited wealthy scrubs.
It is! It totally is!
I'm paraphrasing. It went viral and gave rise to the Protestant Reformation, a schism that broke Christianity into many different branches, each with their own values. This is why we now have Unitarianism, which is cool with having the Dillinger Escape Plan play at their churches.
I don't know what that is. That seems cool.
The good news is, unlike romantic relationships, religions, and mafias, it's not uncommon to be a part of multiple inner rings.
Don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
For example, Jack Black continues to make music and tour with his homie Kyle despite his Hollywood career being vastly more successful.
I love you, Kyle!
But when your homies are hanging out with new and cooler people, there's still that nagging fear of getting left behind. While you might have 1,000 friends on Facebook, Dunbar's numbers suggest that the human brain only has a capacity to form stable relationships with about 150 people.
It's true.
And this is why fame is so disruptive to social circles. It's not personal, it's strictly cognitive capacity.
Excuse me, this is private property.
Jack, it's me, Kyle.
But not everyone will prioritize their relationships in the same way, and there's no better example of this than in The Godfather. It's a story about two family mob bosses, Vito Corleone and his successor and son, Michael. Both are respected and feared by their enemies, but only Michael is feared by his family. Vito gains influence in the mafia inner ring to serve his family, while Michael gains it at the cost of his family.
I'm your older brother, Mike, and I was stepped over!
In the end of part 2, Vito's story arc ends with him surrounded by loved ones, while Michael is shown all alone 3 separate times. As you can tell, the inner rings aren't the problems themselves. I mean, you still have Hollywood celebrities that can act like normal people.
Yeah, Keanu.
It's the desire to get into them that can make us abandon our loved ones and our most cherished values just so we can be accepted. Money, sex, and food have the words greed, lust, and gluttony to warn us about losing control, but there isn't a good word for belongingness. And of course, businesses have used this for ages to make a few extra dollars.
Wow, it's that obscure underground song
that's constantly playing everywhere.
But it's hard to fault ourselves for this desire because having weak social ties is literally bad for your health.
In fact, researchers say can be bad for you as this, smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
And likewise, studies have shown helping others to be better than receiving help when it came to good mental health and experiencing meaningfulness. A community that aligns with your values can not only give you true friendship, but also valuable wisdom. Sometimes so valuable, people will pay $3.3 million for
You hear that, kids?
Every
Fighting
year,
games
there's
can
a
save
charity
your
auction
life.
to have lunch with legendary investor
Unless
Warren
someone
Buffett.
stabs you.
We'll never know the full extent of what happens at these
I mean,
lunches.
it's
but
not
a couple of
likely, but,
investors
I mean, it
actually
could.
revealed 3 pieces of advice they got from Buffett at a lunch in 2007. Keep your integrity, be able to say no, and do what you love. In other words, stay free.
Yay!
This video is largely based on The Art of Community, 7 Principles for Belonging by Charles Vogel. I barely scraped the surface of this
Smart
deep
stuff,
topic.
Gerald. Smart stuff. Well, what is free? Can we get Ghost to Marvel? Here we go. So, here's what happened. All right? Marvel 3 finals. Forget this guy's name. I don't like him. I forget his name and I don't like him. But he won. Chris G. Fuck Chris G.
The story. This is the story right here for Chris G.
And then this guy just appears and demands to play sets.
Chris G. Random. Chris G.
But yes, let's take one final look at our top 8 here. Amazing job to all of the competitors.
Wow, amazing. Oh, okay. The ceremony.
Ceremony is in order.
Yeah.
A beautiful, beautiful top 8 here.
Yeah, one more time, I would like to give a shout out to the whole UMBC3 community.
He won't leave.
Please give it up.
Yes, community, Marvel community.
He won't leave.
Amazing.
They had to make him leave.
It is what it is. Let's continue with the top.
So to answer your question, what Chris G do? I'm a little like I can hold on to the emotion a lot more strongly than the thing. But I remember me and Wooly talking about on the podcast where Chris G just kept getting caught colluding and fucking up tournaments by colluding. Which is fucking bullshit. So the long and short of it is that he kept going to tournaments and being like, so we're going to split the pot, right? And then they're like, yeah. And then they would agree to split the pot no matter how much, no matter who won. And then they'd get to finals and he would just play bullshit. They'd play like fake characters that they didn't know how to play and just ruin the whole fucking tournament. Apparently he's also an asshole. I didn't know about that stuff. So feels good. Feels good, man, that I called it early over collusion. But yeah, splitting pots is accepted, but he would also throw the set. They would play bullshit. They'd play Mickey Mouse crap and like ruin the whole tournament. All right. While I'm setting up the next part of our show, which I'm sure some of you already know exactly what it is just based off of that. Let's thank some people. Am I drinking water? I have not drunk as much water as I should. Excuse me. I have to go get water or my wife will kill me. Skeleton. Hydration. All right. But let's talk. Hey, thanks to Peepo and shit. All right, let's do that. Okay, let's do that. Okay, hey. A lot of people subbed while I was watching those videos. Sonic K draws sub. Thanks, Sonic K. Resident Fan sub says, hey, Pat and chat. Hey, man. Rune God subbed. Thought that I might have missed the part of the stream going out for dinner for my birthday. Happy birthday. We ended up getting lunch instead, so didn't miss anything. Wanted to sub earlier, but doing it on mobile sucks ass, so finally got the chance. Thank you. I appreciate that. Salty Bad Guy says it's your money after all, but making it a boring match is boring as hell. So the issue with collusion is a lot more philosophical than you would expect, because it goes into what the purpose of the money going into the tournament is. The purpose of the winner's pot in a fighting game tournament or any tournament is to incentivize the highest levels of play for the audience. The whole tournament is for the audience. Tournaments that don't have an audience don't need money, because those people will just want to fight it out and see who's the best. So when you have a tournament and they split the pot at the end, but then they don't play seriously, congrats. You've kind of robbed everyone of their money because you've stolen the value they paid for. And it's bullshit. Nanaki FF14 kicked in a sub. Says SF6, let's go. Yes. Samachi sub. Thanks, man. iPhone kicked in $5. Thanks, man. As somebody who's only played Street Fighter Alpha 2 on PC from GOG, what will Street Fighter 6 be like? I mean, there's the demo. Street Fighter 6 plays like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike with focus attack dash cancels, which sounds pretty good to me. But yeah, there's the demo. You can play the demo. John McClane's brother kicked in a sub. Are you telling a fuck? What the? Are you telling people about when, baby? Oh, you mean like due date? No, we're not doing that. Besides, babies don't show up on their due date. Babies never show up on the due date. Exactly. Debriki Shaw kicked in a sub. Thanks, Debriki Shaw. Hey, Pat, last time I can sub for you until money gets better. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine, though. Can't wait to see you and Wooly get into Street Fighter 6 and enjoy yourselves. Watch more Maxor. Probably not, but thank you. Glup Shitto kicked in a sub to say, yeah, thanks, Glup Shitto. Thanks, Glup Shitto. Pardon. Scarnahu kicked in a sub. Thanks, Scarnahu. 52 months. If each of those months were a week, that'd be a year. Happy anniversary from one dad to another. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. KJ Sandwich sub, thank you. Jenna Lynn Miari rated the channel earlier. Thank you, Jenna. I hope you had a great night or day, because it's actually pretty early, but I don't know if you're on West Coast or not. Lucky Hero kicked in a sub. Surprise Prime sub. Thank you, Lucky Hero. And Squid Shake subbed. Happy 17. Nothing else to say other than hope you and the fam are well. I think we're doing pretty good. That's what I think. All right, fuckers. Now, some of you are very familiar with what we're about to watch. And some of you, hold on, I'm going to make a new thing, are very not familiar. I hope I can bring some enjoyment to y'all with something you haven't seen before. I just need to figure out how to actually add the window. Fuck, I'm stupid. I can't find the window. Shit. Here it is. I found it. Today, gentlemen, madams, children, pets, etc., we will be watching a video series by Dandy J named Homogeneous, A History of Gay Inventors. This is a playlist of stupid fighting game shit from 14 fucking years ago. Also, that is a great name. bullshit. Oh, that's bullshit.
You win.
Look at it! Look at it! Oh my fucking god! This is Alpha 2, by the way. Where? Yeah, come on. Come on. Where? There? Oh! Oh, yeah, right through it.
Are you ready? Go.
You imagine how fucking mad you'd be? You fucking imagine how fucking mad you would be? You'd respect it? You're full of shit. Okay, this is a little more difficult to see. So we're gonna pause it. Okay. Super activation. Flash. Oh, excuse me. All right. Flash. What could happen? Here it comes. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. No. Don't. No. Don't. No. That's even dumber. That's even stupider. Look at that. Look, that's so stupid. That. Someone explain how bullshit this is while I'm gone. Just. I'll be right back. We're fucking back. Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Round one.
Fucking Mahurl! This is optimal play. Optimal play right here. Oh my god, who could win it? Incredible. What game is this? I don't care. The worst part about this interaction is that whoever does it second often wins. Incredible.
Round three. Fight.
Who's gonna take it? It also does pretty good shit. Oh. You can do it, Mahurl. Fucking do it. Ah! That was his mistake. You see that? He tried to play honest there for a second. I love this playlist because it has the shittiest video quality of any fucking thing ever. Okay, so I want to point out this is like this is an arcade cab. I think it's like in India or something. It has the damage set to fucked up values.
Will the tide of battle turn?
Don't do it. Don't kick. Don't do it. Out of bounds.
Round one, fight!
This is a great fucking match right here. Get ready for this. Yeah, this is why King of Fighters 2003 kind of sucks ass, by the way. Oh, just build super. Just build that meter. Build that fucking meter. That's 2000, whatever. I don't really care for 2003 either. Oh, she hit him. Oh shit! Good job, Hinako.
Time over. Winner!
Out of bounds. That's my favorite hitbox. Oh, come on. Look at this. Look at this fucking awful shit. Yo, this game sucks.
Hey, come on.
I don't know what is this Melty or is this the other one? I fucking forgot there's Quake clips in here. Quake was the first fighting game, you know. What do? Just throw more grenade. More grenade. Just throw more grenade up there. Just throw more grenade. Just shoot everything. Yeah! Okay, these are the really grimy clips because you can see that they're on like pre-Kyera emulators. Okay? So what you're going to be looking for in these clips is the screen to go like black and freak out. That's somebody rage quitting. Yeah! Go. Fucking love that. Yo, that's bullshit. Oh, there it is. There's the rage quit.
Ring out.
Yeah, do the wiggle thing. Okay, that's bullshit. Look at this fucking hitbox. Look at this. Okay, the kick goes out to his leg. Look at this. Look how fucking far away. Remember we saw about hurt boxes? His hurt box is still out there. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, back to breakers. This kick moves you so far, you're invincible. Oh, this game's a piece of shit, dude. This game is a piece of shit. Yeah!
You are tied for the lead.
Oh, fuck yeah! Okay, we're not even gonna watch. We are gonna watch this by the frame. What could happen? What could happen? What could happen? No, don't do standing heavy kick! You'll just die! Nice. That's bullshit. KOF 12 is bad.
You are tied for the
That's a
lead.
pretty good kill. Oh yeah, we're getting to the SNK soccer games!
Come there.
Is this the one? Is it the running? All right. Sorry, buddy. Even! It's even! Yeah! 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 There's no pushback in the sky. Okay, so you see how people make jokes about like getting beat up in an arcade? It's because of shit like this.
KO! You win! ご心配なく、急所は外してますか？見えてますよ。
Wait for it. Oh, here we go. Here's number 2.
KO! You win!
Okay, you want to up it a notch? You want to up it a notch? Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Oh, he's stuck! Oh, he got fucking stuck! And now he's gonna dance. Now, you might be wondering, why is he dancing? Well, you see, he only took this much damage over here. Oh, we're up to 10 seconds. What could happen? Three, two. Oh, the jumping heavy kick was stronger. Oh, that's bullshit. Yo, I want you guys to think about how fucking hard music in old KOF games goes. Fuck, that's lame. Yeah! Big Ho! Oh, Virtua on! That's bullshit. Let's see it. Let's see it. It counts. It counts.
Round 2. Ready, go.
Well, now he's inside Kyo's dad. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Is this game even good? No! Oh, here's a good shitty match right here, bro. This is how you do it. Just wiggle out there. Oh, beat that low short. This footsies! This is the true state of neutral! Nothing's ever gonna top this! Would you still applaud my footsies if I was a worm? That's a win. We take that. Out of bounds. 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 Hold on a second. What is that? What is that? What is that fucking freak in the fucking elevator? What is that? That's not a child. That's a monster. Yo, a lot of Breakers clips, because guess what? Breakers sucks. And that's how I found out that Chun-Li has a hitbox behind her fucking head. Hey, it's Blaze Blue! Bye, Blaze Blue. Hey, it's HC Remix. Good jab, Akuma. Oh yeah, this is good shit. What we're talking about. This is that good shit. This is that good shit. Can you fucking look? Hold on. Fucking look at that. Look at this. Look at fucking. She is inside his hands. Oh, I guess not. And now she's out.
Coming up, I can feel it. There it is. Come back. Can they pull it off?
Everything that happened in that interaction was complete garbage. Let's watch it again. Okay, first of all, he gets tagged on hit 1 and somehow lands into the fucking super. Okay. Then look, he's activating super with Ryu in the air. And somehow he blocks it. Yeah, I know it's a safe jump. It still feels like shit. Oh, there's a virtual on match in which a guy fell through the ground. That sucks. Hey, here's a fun super. Just die. Die if you touch me. This is as bad as it looks, by the way. fucking love you, Virtual Fighter. Okay, it's hard. It is hard to see. It is hard to see why this is bullshit. Okay? I will tell you. Okay? Bop, bop, bop. She texts the throw. You see that little... She texts the throw.
I will say that every time I see that shit. Oh no! Yes! No!
Don't stand up. Don't stand up. Fucking Karnav's revenge.
Double KO.
Incredible. Incredible. Is that not horseshit? You see how Dudley's bullshit just beats it raw? You see, like, can you fucking believe that? Like, Dudley is full invincible. Yeah, Virtual Fighter, you can just back out of the ring.
Watch how safe I play. I fucking deserve that shit.
Yeah, oil up! Oh, it was too early. I'd be mad. I'd be mad too. Oh, dropped it, which means... Oh. Yeah, so Viper in one version of Street Fighter 4, if you hit it at absolute max range, could drop the opponent and then it would recover first. Incredible. Yeah, that shouldn't be possible. And that shouldn't happen either. Oh man, that's a great one. That is a great one. Okay. All three supers. He's got the goddamn fucking thing coming out. Every character. Just right into it. Double happy birthday.
That one is awesome.
Oh, there's the Morgan Infinite. Oh, fucked it up.
You're still there.
Oh, good old Guilty Gear. Don't fall in the pool. I fucking hate Athena so much. Not for this. This is rare, but still. By the way, new fighting game players. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this footage who are not super familiar with fighting games. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Sometimes that happens. Get used to getting mad. Oh, this is the Snoop Dogg stage. This is top tier shit. Incredible. Look at that. Look at that! Fucking King of Fighters sucks ass sometimes.
Okay. Her wake. What?
What's happening?
What the f?
Oh, I've never seen that. That's a new one. What is... Oh! Oh, man. I gotta hold on. How do I turn off autoplay? Is that a YouTube feature? Or is that... Oh, it's on the playlist? It's not. Save playlist to library, shuffle, loop. You don't want playlist? Damn it. Okay. Because I want to see that. That is stupid as fuck. No, not that. Not that one. What hit her? What is that? What is she throwing? What is happening? What is that? Is that a... Oh, that's stupid.
Oh, yeah.
That's also stupid. Man, Tekken got weird.
Time for the comeback.
Tekken got real fucking weird. What?
Oh, straight to the head, dude.
Oh, dude, it's so nuts. Oh, man, it's Yomi.
I'm not done.
Wait, is Dandy's fucking name Get Sonic Mania for $17.99 on Steam?
What the what? What?
What is this?
Oh shit! Nice. What?
Oh, fuck that!
No, I'm dead.
No? Abigail!
Should I do this? Nope, I shouldn't do that. Oh, they almost died. They were so close to dying. Wait, they have 0 health. Yo, that's 0 health.
What? Oh!
Yo, I won! I won!
Yo, that sucks!
Fuck this shit. No, S.
That's oppressive.
Fuck! Oh god. Mega Sword! Give me my Mega Sword! I need a Mega Sword!
That is oppressive.
Oh my god.
Look at the chip! You know, there's like 40 of these clips that are like, did you know the character has a hitbox behind them during their super? Yeah! Hell yeah! This is from 1 year ago, and Breaker's revenge continues! And that's all of it. That's all of it. That is Homogeneous, a history of gay inventors. One of the best YouTube playlists I've ever found. I'll be right back. I need to pee. Somebody said there's a hold back to block video on bad matchups. Let's watch that next. Now, this is a fascinating topic. I'm not super familiar with hold back to block, so I'm going off people in the chat, but I like some bad matchups.
Playing fighting games, a lot can be defined in character matchups.
I'm going to say that Zangief versus Vanilla Sagat in Vanilla Street Fighter 4 is definitely one of the worst matchups I've personally encountered.
As defined in the fighting game glossary, a matchup is the strategy and game knowledge that applies for one specific character against another specific character.
Oh, Queequeg says, talk about Potemkin and Chip. Potemkin and Chip is a 10-0 matchup both ways. It's not a joke. I'm fucking dead serious.
And are often measured by stating how many games out of 10 a character should win if two high-level players of equal skill played against each other, ranging from the even 5-5 matchup to a more difficult 7-3.
But what about the more uneven matchups?
Yeah.
You know, the ones so cursed they're forbidden to be spoken of in public. The matchups that hide under your bed. The ones with broken hitboxes, oppressive zoning, and infinite pain. The 8-2s and 9-1s that keep you up for days. Worse, what of the unfathomable horror and terror that is the dreaded 10-0?
They exist.
These are some of the worst matchups.
They
in
do
fighting
exist.
games. Vanilla Street
Yeah!
Fighter 4.
Oh,
Zangief versus
man!
Seth.
You know what? Less people had Seth unlocked.
Seth Killian is a fantastic human being. The character named after him, though, he's an asshole. As the final boss of Street Fighter 4, Seth brought cannons to a knife fight. Just look at what Seth had in Vanilla Street Fighter 4. Projectiles.
Yep.
Teleports.
Yep.
A wall jump.
Yep.
A reversal uppercut.
Dive kick.
A goddamn sniper rifle. And just really good mobility. This character was built to destroy grapplers like Zangief.
Yeah.
With amazing space control and keep away options, Zangief just
Look
doesn't
at
get
that.
many opportunities to start his offense. And even when he can get inside, Seth has so many ways to escape.
Look at that.
With his teleports, DPFADC, or even a reversal SPD of his own. What's a Russian bear fighter supposed to do? Injustice 1, Zod versus Lex.
Okay, this was really
I mean,
bad.
Just look at it.
This is really
Put your
bad.
hands in the air and give him your energy.
That's it.
That was
That's it,
ballsy.
guys. The game's over.
That was so ballsy.
The game is over. Oh, it's over.
On a scale of balls. Well.
Oh man.
And it begins.
Yeah,
It's
NetherRealm
over.
zoners are absolutely
Zoners eat
so
Lex for
fucked.
breakfast, and the Zod matchup is no exception. His Kryptonian rifle is perfect for keeping Lex away, and its meter burn versions cover most of the angles Lex needs to use on approach. It certainly doesn't help that Zod can also summon a Ray from the Phantom Zone to keep Lex pinned down, or uses I-beams to push Lex near full screen even on block if he somehow manages to get too close.
I can't let you get close.
It's a difficult matchup, and Lex has to play with extreme patience to even have a shot at winning, but you know it's going to be a struggle when even the commentators throw the towel 3 seconds into a match.
It's over. No.
NRS, please.
Oh God.
Okay, sure, the matchups we've talked
So
about so
bad.
far aren't exactly unwinnable. Difficult, but maybe with enough knowledge and a little bit of bracket luck, you might be able to squeeze by with a win. But these next few that we're going to talk about, these next few are dead. Jackie Chan's Fist of Fire.
Oh, yeah. No,
Thorsten
this game's
versus
fucking
Kim
broken.
Marie. Thorsten is regarded as one of the more powerful characters in Jackie Chan's Fist of Fire, with many pointing to things such as his fast backdash, amazing pokes, and great damage output as some of his key strengths. One of the more powerful tools in his arsenal, however, are his full-screen, almost fully invincible teleports. They're incredibly fast and give Thorsten access to a nightmarish keep-away game, especially against a character like Kim Marie, who relies on staying close to her opponent to be effective. All Thorsten needs to do in this matchup is to get and maintain a life lead, and then teleport his way to a timeout victory. We'd cry too, Kim. We'd cry too. X-Men Next Dimension. Sabretooth
Oh, this
versus
game is
Gambit.
trash, dude.
This one was submitted by commentator Ketchup.
This
and it's
game
a
is
doozy.
trash.
As a grappler in X-Men Next Dimension, Sabretooth has access to a few chain throws, one of which being his air throw. However, there's a wild glitch where Sabretooth can input the command for his air chain throw anywhere on the screen, and it will actually teleport their opponent into the grab animation.
I want to see that.
Anywhere. However, Saber submitted by commentator Ketchup, and it's a doozy. As a grappler in X-Men Next Dimension, Sabretooth has access to a few chain throws, one of which being his air throw. However, there's a wild glitch where Sabretooth can input the command for his air chain throw anywhere on the screen, and it will actually teleport their opponent into the grab animation. And since this attack knocks down your opponent for so long, he can just chain this forever, giving him a full screen infinite. What makes this so bad for Gambit in particular is that for some reason, he's the only character in the game that loses the ability to do anything before rounds 2 and 3, giving Sabretooth enough time to launch Gambit into his chain grab infinite. Welcome to 10-0 hell.
Unwinnable. Completely
King of
unwinnable.
Fighters 95, Yori versus Chin. This last one is a bit situational, but after seeing it and testing it for myself, I still can't believe it made it into the final release. In KOF 95's Italy stage, the first member of each team starts the match by jumping off a small bridge. Now with most of the cast, this isn't an issue, but then here comes Chin. Chin is notably shorter than most characters in the game, and as the first character in any fight on the Italy stage, he lands later than the rest of the cast. And some of you can see where I'm going with this. So unfortunately for him, this can happen.
Go!
So fucking stupid. Bruh.
For some reason, the game doesn't actually wait for both characters to hit the ground before starting the round. And since this intro leaves him airborne, he can't block. He can't do anything. So someone like Yori, who has a far-reaching Rekka that can lead into infinites, can end his day before it even gets started.
Yuri versus Jin. Ready, go!
Yeah, unwinnable. Unwinnable.
No wonder Chin drinks so much. Agree? Disagree? Have
Yeah,
suggestions from...
those are pretty goddamn unwinnable matchups. That's a great video. Let's watch another one. What do fighting games need? No. The character that broke BlazBlue? No. No. Should it be? All right, fuck it.
Lab Coat 21 is too powerful. Her level
What a
1 super
start!
is debuffing the economy. I see her in more top 8s than I see my own biological father. She's broken. She's killing the game. She needs to be banned. Okay, hold on. Does she really, though?
In the history of fighting games, there have most definitely been cases of overpowered or overtuned characters. Character balancing is an arduous task, and sometimes a developer's good intentions can morph into a player's nightmare. But in the modern age of fighting games, most players will either just play what's dominating the competition,
Just pick Leroy.
or wait for the eventual patch that brings the nigh omnipotent back down to reality.
Please don't do it.
It's for the best.
But there have been cases where characters have actually been banned in competitive fighting game tournaments, and that begs the question, why? In this video, we're going to be looking into...
Oh, man. Okay, Shin Akuma, Noob Saibot, Necrid, Omega Rugal, Shadow... Don't remember.
5 different characters from across the genre to answer the question,
Kakyoin?
what makes a character bannable? Akuma, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yeah. The first one to ever be banned.
Let's get the most obvious one out of the way first. Akuma made his debut
Akuma
in
had to
Super
go.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo as a secret boss, as well as a selectable hidden character. But you never see him played because he's been banned from virtually every ST tournament on the face of this earth. And for good reason. He's got some of the most powerful projectiles in the game in both his air fireballs that some of the Street Fighter cast just has no answers for, as well as his ground fireballs that can actually lead to block stun infinites in the corner due to their amazing recovery.
Akuma's fucking
Couple this
busted.
with an amazing escape and teleport and extreme damage output, and you have a character that makes even Daigo tremble at their appearance. Hell, there was even an attempt to rebalance Akuma for Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix and make him playable in tournaments, but even that iteration wound up being banned due to a game-breaking bug with his Raging Demon. Picking Akuma even for casual play is pretty frowned upon in certain circles.
Don't play
Unless you're
Akuma.
Alex Jabali, who regularly picks Akuma in the MagFest arcade to bully unsuspecting players because he just can't help himself.
God damn it, Jabali.
Bobblehead!
Rugal, King of Fighters 2002.
Yeah.
Here's a character so powerful, the Mexican government had to get involved. Rugal has always stood out as one of SNK's more powerful boss characters, and his entry in KOF 2002 is no exception. He's selectable as a hidden character in the console and AES versions, and in Unlimited Match, he's right there on the character select screen.
Oh no.
Both versions have a Reppuken loop that can lead to a knockout if he successfully locks you down in the corner, as well as a Kaiser Wave hitbox that hits behind him.
Oh my fucking
so if you
God.
roll incorrectly,
Hold on, look at the fucking health values on this.
Well as a Kaiser
Look at Yashiro's fucking health value.
Wave hitbox that hits
Look at
behind
that.
him. So if you roll incorrectly, you'll eat 30 plus hits and leave yourself wide open to a round-ending super.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Not to mention he has all the BS damage and excellent tools you'd expect an SNK boss character to have. Rugal's power is synonymous with the phrase Prohibido jugar con Rugal, or roughly translated to forbidden to play with Rugal, due to a few images of the phrase slapped on KOF cabinets around the world. In fact, Rugal is so notorious that former Mexican governor Jaime Rodriguez Calderon has mentioned him by name. In a tweet celebrating Gamers Day, Calderon said to, quote, enjoy the day and invite some friends to play Call of Duty, Pokemon Unite, or KOF, but without using Rugal. We interrupt this video with a special announcement. We now have shirts.
Oh, good for you.
And we also have a Discord for you to talk. Noob Saibot, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah, it was Noob. I knew it was Noob.
Originally debuting as a secret fight in Mortal Kombat 2, Noob Saibot made his first playable appearance in the console versions of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and was promptly banned on arrival.
Yup.
As covered in Ketchup's breakdown of the character, he has a wide assortment of launchers like his teleport and clone throw that lead to huge damage, as well as incredibly simple and damaging combos that sometimes only require mashing on one button. But his deadliest move is his Disabler Ball. Hit your opponent with this move and it removes the ability for your opponent to block, as well as removes the hitboxes on their attacks, making them completely defenseless.
Yeah.
And due to the incredibly fast recovery on Clone Toss, he can throw one of these out on your wake up for a guaranteed hit. Essentially, if he hits you with one of these, the round is over. To make matters worse, in MK Trilogy, he's got most of these tools in addition to an infinite off of his teleport throw. All of this makes him one of the only characters ever to be banned in the MK series outside of selectable boss characters. Gives a whole new meaning to throwing encouraged, doesn't it? Necrid, Soul Calibur 2.
Fucking Necrid.
In all of our prior cases of bans in this video, there have been clear reasons why each was removed from competitive play. But with Soul Calibur 2's Necrid, the reasons are a bit murkier,
He's not
as
that
he's
good.
not a particularly strong character. For the console release of Soul Calibur 2, 4 guest characters were announced for each port of the game. Heihachi for the PlayStation 2 version, Link for GameCube, and Spawn for Xbox. The 4th character, Necrid, also designed by Spawn creator Todd McFarlane, would be available on all consoles and would also be banned along with the other 3 exclusives. Was it because each character was insanely broken in their own right? Nope. In fact, some SC2 players consider Necrid to be one of the worst in the game,
Yeah, he's
citing
bad.
his lack of mobility and weak loads as major weaknesses. So why the ban? Well, according to forum posts on 8-Way Run, the console-exclusive characters were all banned due to them not being available in the arcade version of the game, which was the focus of tournaments at the time.
Yeah, the issue was basically you couldn't figure out what to run the tournament on because Heihachi, Link, and Spawn players were like, well, we should run it on my console. But you're like, you can't have a Heihachi versus Spawn match or a Link versus Heihachi match.
But with the release of Soul Calibur 2 HD in 2013, these bans were removed, and all characters are now legal for tournament play, finally allowing Necrid to live up to his full low-tier potential.
Yeah, Necrid's trash, dude.
Kakyoin, heritage for the future.
In heritage for the future?
When it comes to Capcom's JoJo's
Not
Bizarre
Pet
Adventure
Shop?
Fighter, heritage for the future, everyone loves to mention Pet Shop. And for good reason,
Yeah!
as he's immune to lows, has an amazing tool in Icicles, and is clearly one of the best characters.
I'm sorry, no bad guy says Kakyoin's gotten very good lately. This game came out in the 90s. What do you mean lately? What are you... what? What the fuck are you talking about?
In the game. Not to mention, he's a smug prick about it too. But what if I told you there was another, possibly even more powerful character lurking in JoJo's roster? Enter Kakyoin. Kakyoin is not only one of the best characters in all of the JoJo franchise, he's also one of the most powerful characters in the Capcom Fighter, as he has no losing matchups. His normals in both his stand-on and off modes are incredibly strong, and he has some of the best mobility in the game with his ground dash and infinite air dashes as long as his stand is activated. He also has one of the best moves in the game in the form of his nets. These things will stay on the field for up to 29 seconds unless Kakyoin is thrown, and will stun an opponent and or cause an automatic stand crash if they connect, negating most characters' best options in the process. Coupled with his mobility and normals, the nets give Kakyoin an incredibly strong tool to apply wherever needed and help power his amazing Oki game. Throw one of these bad boys on an opponent's wake up, and they'll either keep them in place or stun them if they try to fight back, allowing Kakyoin to loop them back into the same wake up situation over and over again.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
So there you have it, 5 cases of characters.
So that was a pretty bad, bro. All right, what do we got? Oh yeah, yeah.
Trade offer. I receive $15. DLC for fighting games, or any competitive game actually, can at times be a slippery slope. When trying to get players to buy into season passes or additional characters, developers need to find a balance between making new additions.
Oh wait,
to
did I
the
miss
roster
Wooly in
fun.
that? Other video? Different video? Oh, okay, whatever.
Or any competitive game actually, can at times be a slippery slope. When
That's weird.
Trying to get players to buy into season passes or additional characters, developers need to find a balance between making new additions to the roster fun and viable without overly disrupting the current balance of the game too much and making it feel like competitive players need to pay to win. It's a tricky skill and difficult to nail.
I know what this is going to be about. This is about how Iori of the Flames is DLC, so he should be really strong. That's a quote.
Why sometimes some DLC characters feel a bit undertuned when coming out of the gate, and others
are the literal horsemen of the apocalypse arriving to raise the lands and call the weak from the strong.
We have such sights to show you.
Excuse me. King of Fighters 13's DLC, though, is a particularly curious case. The characters we're going to be talking about today actually released pretty close to the console launch of KOF 13 in 2011, and while some of them did make an immediate impact on the game, it would take some time before their full potential was realized. The characters in question are EX Iori, Ness Kyo, and Mr. Karate, aka Team $15.
I like these characters.
So what
I like
made
all
these
3 of those
so strong?
characters.
Let's do a small breakdown of each character and see what they brought to King of Fighters 13. But before that, a quick reminder that all of our videos are funded by our patrons over at patreon.com/holdbacktoblock. Patrons get early looks at our upcoming videos, such as our documentaries on Hitbox, Max and Yo video games, CEO, and much more. So if you like what you see and want to help us make more videos like this, consider becoming a patron today. Okay, back to the video. EX Kyo. EX Kyo, or Ness Kyo, is a version of the character with the moveset of his King of Fighters 98 counterpart.
You mean the
His
one with the
Rekka
cool
attacks make a
coat?
return, and those coupled with his standing low give him consistent and scary knockdown situations. Putting all of that together with the auto guard points in some of his moves and his ability to build meter very effectively makes EX Kyo a strong candidate to start any match with on
The
any
best
team.
he's ever looked with the white coat.
EX Iori. For story reasons, Iori lost a lot of his usual moves post KOF 11 to the dismay of some longtime fans.
I'll be really honest, one of the reasons I really dislike Ash Crimson is because he took my character away.
But with the release of Iori with the Power of Flames, yes, that's his actual name, or EX Iori, that all changed. EX Iori restores the character to his KOF 98 and 2002 glory. Like his fellow DLC brethren, he has high damage and excellent buttons. But one of the scariest things about him is his infinite, which makes him extremely lethal if he gets
really
to
have
open
an
you up.
Oh my god, it's the same infinite!
2 hours later.
It's the same infinite he always fucking has! Stop doing that!
Because of course, it wouldn't be a KOF game without giving Iori an infinite. Mr. Karate. As someone who didn't get many chances to play KOF 13 themselves, but watched a decent amount of the game at events, I've lost count on how many times I've watched Mr. Karate just dismantle entire teams.
Pressure him with no resources available, especially when he can just do that at any moment. Oh,
Jesus!
I would have loved to see
all the way to the corner.
Look at that damage, though.
This character is a powerhouse and a momentum machine that's powerful enough to ignore interactions with his opponents and be able to steal or close out games with his insane HD damage.
He's like, whatever, girl. Oh my God!
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
Individual strengths aside, the true power of the DLC characters could be felt in one of the more vital aspects of King of Fighters: team composition. In KOF 13, there's a myriad of ways on how to build a team, but the basic strategy consists of something like this. A point character that aims to secure a lead in a match without using too much meter, saving whatever resources they do build for the other members of the team.
Oh.
A secondary character that can take advantage of those built-up resources, and an explosive anchor character with high damage HG combos that can either close out a game or mount a comeback if behind. And while any character can be placed in any position before a match, some characters may perform better in specific slots due to their movesets, meter usage, or to fit a particular strategy. But with the DLC characters, more specifically Ixiori and Mr. Karate, this rule gets a bit broken as these characters can work well in any slot. While EXKyo is powerful in his own right, many players believe he falls off a bit if he's not on point. Ixiori and Mr. Karate, however, are extremely powerful rushdown characters that scale well as they build meter, making them effective at any point in a match. But as mentioned before, even though these characters were released near the console launches of KOF 13, it would take a bit of time for them to become so dominant. Even the most powerful characters have a learning curve, and with players already familiar with KOF 13's arcade version at the time, many stuck to what they already knew before exploring the various balance changes that came with the console release. Rest in peace, Raiden's dropkick.
Oh, that fucking move's so bullshit!
It also helped that KOF 13's base roster had a bunch of heavy hitters as well, with characters such as Benimaru, Chin, Shenwu, and Kim, among a few others, making frequent appearances on players' lineups. So how can we chart the rise of Team $15? Well, let's take a look at the top 8 results for the game during the years it was featured at EVO. Now, to make this crystal clear, all of the players involved in these examples, players like Bala, Tokido, Mad KOF, Reynold, they're all killers of the game, and even without powerful DLC, they would still be considered some of the best players of the time, as obvious from their placing in these EVO finals. But good players use good characters. If you're a carpenter, and that's your livelihood, you don't just use any old hammer, you invest in the best hammer. And if you're a professional fighting game player, you seek out every advantage you can get over every other player.
Pick a top
In
tier.
other words, pick a top tier. So what kind of impact did Team $15 have at EVO?
Okay. Earlier, Corey Gaming, Gerald pointed out that members of a community have shared rituals. You may have noticed a weird tendency of people in the chat and people, I'm people, and people in the video just going straight to the phrase pick a top tier over and over and over. That is from over 20 years ago. That is a long, long time ago.
King of Fighters 13 had 3 years as a main game at Evolution, being featured at EVO 2012, EVO 2013, and
that's
EVO
over
2014.
30 years ago.
Out of the 30 matchups that compose those combined top
maybe 40,
8s, a DLC character was used in 25 of them. At EVO 2012, out of the 8 players in the finals, 4 of them used either Ixiori or Mr. Karate, with Verna placing the highest in 3rd place using a mix of Ixiori, Duolon, Shen, and Kin. A year later, at EVO 2013, there were 5 players that used at least one DLC character, with highlights including Shen using the entire $15 team throughout the finals, and Reynold using EXKyo to dig himself out of a 2-0 hole in Grand Finals, winning the tournament using EXKyo, Benimaru, and Shin.
Too high! It's over! 1! Oh, he dropped it up! Oh, he did it! He did it! Wins!
And in 2014, while that number of players that use DLC characters drops back down to 4, the entire top 3 ran both Mr. Karate and Ixiori in various positions, with Xiaohai taking it all with his team of Ixiori, Mr. Karate, and Kim.
Oh, and that's it.
That's it.
Oh, Xiaohai wins.
Xiaohai, your EVO 2014.
You know what says a lot is when they go, oh, that's the winner. So that person won. Woo. The excitement.
14 champion.
So while it's not the most scientific method to chart the rise of these characters, and it doesn't account for any character switches that may have happened before or even in these top 8s, the results are notable. While there were certainly some non-DLC characters that could hang in the higher tiers, it would be hard to not invest time and money into the DLC characters to supercharge your team and compete at the highest level, with many agreeing to this day that Team $15 are some of the most powerful characters in KOF 13.
If I pick the top tier, and you know I'm the most prideful motherfucker there is, yo. If I pick the top tier, just pick a top tier. You want to win, yo? Pick a fucking top tier.
I don't even like Balrog like that no more, man.
Just pick him, yo. Pick a top tier.
He switches all the time.
You ever notice the top tier players?
These days. These days he's just switching.
Yeah, he's the no. Now I think he's Kami Akuma.
Yeah.
That's good. You have to have that. You know, I mean, yeah, you want to mess around with other characters, but look at Japan. One character forever till death. One character.
Yeah, Elijah Joe had hair.
Look at all the people that the characters. The top players are winning. A lot of the reason is because they know who the best characters are and they go to them.
Yo, I went to Japan. Yo,
no, hold on.
Real talk.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep that shit so real right now. You and Arturo are the two only people that I thoroughly respect that just picked your characters when the game came out.
Yo,
like you always stay with the guy.
Yeah, I respect. I respect.
Arturo always stayed with Dolphin.
That's good shit, Sanford.
You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't just run at them because they were like really good characters. They always played them in other games. I ran the top 10, so I keep it real. I ran the top 10. Fuck it. I'm tired of Ken. I'm tired of like outplaying somebody and then they just a miraculous ultra and then they fucking like beat me up. What's close matches? I'm tired of that. I want to just have priority, just whore it out,
damage,
and just get the free damage.
Just pick the top tier, man. Somebody says check out Injustice 1 was a real game by Sajam. Sajam. Injustice. No, not Shazam Injustice. Sajam. Okay, here we go. Oh, you know what? That looks like a great video.
I have Injustice 1. Let me show you guys.
Hey, Sajam. I'm a Sajam fan now. I haven't seen much of his content, but what I have seen, I like.
Girl. So, Martian Manhunter is the character I played after Nightwing. He was a DLC character, and I was really excited for him because I think he's really cool. Martian Manhunter is a zoner first and foremost. He has really good zoning, right? So this is an overhead that does 8% of your life on hit. This is the enhanced version of it. The entire screen. It's also plus on block from my memory. The other projectile he has is this. So you can pick where this goes. The other important thing is that the meter burn version of this is homing. And you can combo off it with your teleport. Look at how high this reaches.
Oh, fuck that.
You see this? You can be anywhere on the screen and this will hit you. And you can
God damn
with whatever you want. Do that and you get Oki. This explodes after a certain amount of time and you can put it near or far and to protect you. The other thing is the meter burn version instantly explodes on contact with the opponent character. So if they move into it, it automatically pops on the meter burn version. The other thing is you can combo off of it. And you get Oki. It is so plus that after someone gets hit by it, you can instant overhead them. So this is an instant overhead, and you can combos into his teleport. This combos also.
Jesus.
And then you can put the orb out.
Yeah, this is a Kusoge for real.
See, extremely good Oki, extremely consistent pressure, extremely consistent zoning. Damage is like really solid. That's like
fair.
No bar, 30% damage. If he wants to do the harder combos, he can do stuff like this and then do scoop. This is a low combo starter, by the way. His teleport, I've showed it off a few times. It works off of all of his zoning, and it's a great combo starter. You can do in the air at any point, whenever, even after he air dashes. Even if he air dashes over you and he wants to come out on the other side. Not only that, this is the other version of the teleport. It's an overhead. Very few characters can punish it. It's safe on block. Somebody has to do an armored back three to beat it. Otherwise, you cannot punish it. You may think like, oh, I'll just react to his teleport. He can just whiff other things in the air. This looks like he's going through the ground. You could do stuff like that, right? It's extremely degenerate, like one of the most degenerate things I can think of in the game. He has really fast normals, good pokes. In fact, this is really good because his jab check puts you full, like look at this. Imagine getting in on this character and he jabs you. That's safe on block, by the way. This move is safe. -6 with pushback. You may say -6. Look at the pushback. I haven't talked about his trait. So you've seen all of his zoning and everything. And you're like, wow, this is all really good. His trait makes it so that all of his moves have more range. You may say like, how much more range?
Holy fuck.
This is his standing 2. This is it with his trait. It's instant too. As soon as you hit the trait, it happens. It also gives him more damage. You notice if I'm traded, it does 34%. This is like his overhead, and he's in traded. That's an overhead.
It's like one of
He's
those
also
high
what's
budget
called a power
Kusoges
character.
ever.
Non-power characters, when they interact with this car, they like jump out of the corner. He crushes you for 22%. So being a power character is good most of the time in this game. Instead of riding the bike like you're like Trinity in the Matrix, like let me get away, he fucking crushes you with it. And it's 20% unblockable. Not only does it do 20% unblockable, but you have to remember he has like a hard knockdown move. And then he can just do stuff like this.
Jesus.
So let's say I hit him at round start with this. This is guaranteed 20% OTG unblockable. So that's 50% on round start off of just a random move. Yeah, this game had stage counter picks because
would I rather play this or KOF 12? KOF 12 looks good.
Because power characters were
colorful.
extremely degenerate with that kind of stuff. So for small characters, and particularly Batman is the best character in the game, probably on this stage, because he has up batterings. These are anti-air batterings. He has his grounded battering, right? This is an unblockable. That does 20%. And you may think like, that's pretty good, but like, why does that matter? So Batman has this trait, and this is homing. So he can throw anti-air projectiles and then do that on the ground. So what Batman could do is he could hit you with the dumpster and then stand right here and hold this and do this. And then he'd throw this, and then he would do this. That's plus 20 on block. Pop the trait, throw this.
Oh my fucking god.
And this is the game. The pig is an interactive
Pig advantage!
that slides on this hook. So I would hit him with this, and then he would throw the pig back. I would throw it at him, and then he would throw it at me, and we would just slide this back and forth. And it's like, it catches you in the air, it catches you on the ground. Like the hitbox is fucking huge, and you would just throw the pig back and forth. That's true, there is tech. You can get through the pig because you could armor cancel and then dash through it. One thing about Superman that's also really ridiculous is that his trait gives him more damage. So there's like a lot of interactables in the game where he could just do stuff like this, and it increases the amount of unblockable damage it does. That did 23% as an OTG. He's also a power character, so non-power characters just jump off this and they like place a bomb.
Jesus
Let me show
Christ.
Batgirl real quick. This is Sonic Fox's character. Batgirl also has a homing teleport.
Holy fucking
That
shit.
gives her win condition immediately. And the main thing about Batgirl is that she was the mix-up character. So she has an overhead starter. This move, this is cartwheel, has 3 follow-ups. This is a low. This is an overhead. And if she holds up, it's a high. The high is so plus on block that the next cartwheel is guaranteed.
What?
She would hit you and then do this bola. And then after the bola, she would jump in and then do overhead or low. And that's it. And after the 50-50, she would just bola you again, over and over and over for no bar. So this is
my
like her
fucking
mid-screen thing. It's, 25% damage into an unreactable 50-50, into 25% damage, into whatever, and then she hits you here, and then, it's not that much damage, right? She does like 50% off of any hit in the corner.
How'd
Like,
this
even
get?
at-
Oh, Salty Bad Guy asks, how did this get past playtesting? Because NetherRealm doesn't know how to play their own games.
Is like me dropping the combo, but that's like 40% on a bad combo. And 54% on a good combo. The other thing about cartwheel is that if you dash forward and did this, that's a cross up. And then you can land in the front too. There's a way to like make it not cross up. This is also an instant overhead. That's pretty important because you can combo this. It's hard to describe just how silly the... Oh yeah, she also gets to use this really well. Because like if you try to throw it at her, she'll just teleport it. She also, because she didn't need to spend meter, she could super a lot, and her super is really good. It's an anti-air, and she can just add it onto any combo, and it does a lot of damage.
Hold this for me.
Fucking brings out the balloon. It does a lot of damage. Any Nightwing tag? No, don't pick him. Not worth it. Look at this footage. This crusty footage. Yeah, Batman trait, by the way, is like Happy Gal's gunshot, but like I think it's kind of better in some ways and worse in other ways. But basically, he could just release it at any time to punish anything. Anytime in his pressure, anytime he wanted to do anything, he could just release it. Jump 2, back 2. No, he just 1, 2, 3, back 2, 3. And then now you're dumpster.
Oh my
OTG dumpster.
God.
That's plus on block.
Oh my fucking
and
God.
now he throws the up battering.
Oh my, it's it OTGs.
Dumpster. Now he backs off. He holds the bat.
It hits you on the ground.
Up battering, and now he dumpsters.
It hits you in the air.
I forgot to tell you guys, the dumpster hits on the way back, on the ground and in the air. And now he just chips some OTG. Yeah, whatever he wants to do. Now he just pops a trait, and then he releases the trait, and then he stopped one dumpster toss, and that's guaranteed dumpster. Anti-air battering, and that's an OTG dumpster. Can't get out. Release it. Anti-air battering. OTG dumpster. Can't get out. Meter burn again. Release the bat. OTG dumpster. Can't get out. And now he has enough meter to just chip him out. That's the game. This is a tournament match. People were playing this game for money. I can't begin to explain to you how different games were. The first version of this game was dominated at EVO because a stage called Metropolis Rooftop, drones would spawn, and the drones did like 20% damage, unblockable, unscaled every time, and only power characters could throw them, and they spawned like every 5 seconds. So the power characters would just zone and then throw the drone at you over and over and over and over. And if you're not a power character, you automatically lose on that stage. So you may be asking,
hey, somebody says in the chat, do you remember last week when you were talking about fun versus balance? How do you feel about this? This doesn't feel fun. Your foot is on the scale. It's too far.
What did the
Ranryu, I don't think it's even fun for one person.
Power characters do when they interact with the dumpster? Power characters on this stage throw the dumpster on the ground and break it, and it's dead. They would end their combos early and just throw the dumpster on the ground so that you couldn't use it anymore. This is why I downloaded Injustice. Sometimes when I talk about this shit, I feel like people think I'm making shit up. Like they don't believe me that this kind of nasty shit existed in a video game. So this move is called Earthshaker. As you can see here, it's an overhead then low. It hits within 2 frames. It does 12% damage. All this character did is this.
Wait, what? How am I supposed to block an overhead low that's
all I did. And
a frame apart?
How do you block it? You just block it. It's an overhead, then it's a low. The problem is if it hits farther, the timing changes on it, and he can just hit you with the low. He did sweep. He could this is a wake up cross. It's a cross up. It reverses your inputs. See these drones? These drones do 20% damage and spawned like way faster than they do now. You see that? So every time he does this move to you, it reverses your wake up option.
What?
So if you try to wake up attack into it, your wake up goes the wrong way. Now some wake up attacks will hit from behind, so they still work. Oh, so let me try to block it. Right. Damn, he's good. So somebody asked how you deal with the move, you just block it. It also does a lot of chip. The other thing about this character is this move. This is a plus on block armored tackle. As you can see, it goes pretty far. The other thing about this character is his trait is the thing that existed in the video game. His trait lets him absorb anything. So he just absorbs attacks while he's in his trait. When he has bar, he does full screen plus on block tackle. When he doesn't have bar, he does this. You also may be wondering, like, what combos did this character do? No. He has like 1 strength. These drones, they nerfed the spawn time on them, but it used to be that characters would just zone and they would just throw that. Also, this is unblockable. Show Aquaman. There's only one thing to show. The chip on it is like incredibly good. That's like the entire purpose of the move basically, is that on hit or block, this move does
Holy
an
shit.
enormous amount of chip. His trait is that he falls out of combos. And he can do his trait whether he's in hit stun, whether he's in block stun. So even if it hits me, I can activate the trait and then block. And he has really good footsies. Like this move is
The move
really
looks
good.
terrible.
He has this move. This is plus on block. And you can armor it. And then he has this. There's a low. Back to. There's an overhead. He's also a power character. Unblockable. That does 20% from full screen. Most of the characters in this game are pretty funny, either in a good way or a bad way. But
This game sucks,
top
dude.
one. These are the two characters who are the best. And I chose a bad character, someone who's like pretty weak. Lobo's not great. Shazam is not great. Ares is pretty bad. Cyborg, maybe. I don't think Lex was worse than those characters though, no? Shazam, basically, he's like a grappler, but he was just really slow, and most of his stuff is like so stubby. His big problem is he has two grabs. One hits crouching characters, and one does not. And he struggled to get in. His projectile was so slow. Look at
The
him
character's so
burn projectile.
fucking small on the screen.
This is also, it's unsafe, but he can get in with it.
Is that not weird to
Couldn't
everybody
stick
else?
To you very well. And he was like a hybrid grappler character with not a great grab. He just didn't have much going on for him, to be honest. Grundy was cool too. He also kind of a character that had to work a little hard. Grundy is weird because he has so much good stuff, but he's also, at the same time, he has a lot of problems. He has this command grab, and he can cancel it. This is an armored command grab. He had, this is really good because this allowed him to get knockdowns, and it's a low. This is an overhead combo starter as well. This is a real command grab on
Oh my god.
hit or block. This by the way, this move is really good. It's a stagger, and then you can do stuff like this after. This is an incredibly, it's like a 5-frame anti-air grab, by the way. I just don't remember any of his chain grabs. He has to time it. This gives him more health, and he can switch between the two, which one he wants to do. So he has one that's like health.
That is
one
the
that's
lowest
offense,
damage
one that's
command grab
chip.
I've ever seen.
And they're all useful in their own matchups. You can do this. Safe jump. This gives him a setup. That's an
Oh, just part
auto-melee.
one? Oh, I see.
You can also go low. Low into overhead. Low into low.
I still can't believe
Overhead
that
into
fucking
overhead.
match with
the hit
with
advantage
Batman.
of walking corpse. Oh, it doesn't say.
I still can't
this
believe
game
that.
Does indeed have frame advantage. Yeah, he was like okay. He was not a super strong character, but when I talk about this game, I want you to understand it is a different time. This shit is not okay. Truly one of the fighting games of all time. I love this game so much.
Hey, Super Spider says Batman was the best character in the game since it launched until it died. Hey, guess what? That was mandated. I remember people talking about that was mandated by DC, that Superman and Batman had to be the best characters in the game. Well, kids, I hope you had fun learning about fighting games. This is the part where I sadly check my email and see that Capcom doesn't care about me. I just got a fucking email. Experience Mortal Kombat 1 before it's released. You know what? I'm fucking good. You know what? I'm fucking good. I have a second email. Experience Mortal Kombat 1 before. You know what? You know what? I'm good. I'm good. Join the stress test. You know what? Nah. I'm fine. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about it. Ooh. Hold on a second. I just got something cool. Something real cool. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. I got something real cool just now. It is unfortunately not Street Fighter, but it is cool. Where'd I put that? Here, yay. Hey, I gotta fix that. Hey. Hey, thanks again to Justinian Knight for this cool layout. I think this looks great. Thanks, Justinian Knight. Right on time, as always. That looks great. All right, let's thanks to Peepo. And then I'm gonna go get some I'm gonna go get. Oh my god, some sleep. Iku Larg asks, Street Fighter 6 may be the next Street Fighter 3? I hope not. Street Fighter 3 was a massive failure in every respect. Street Fighter 3 was so awful, it almost killed fighting games. The fact that I loved to play it doesn't really matter. Third Strike was good. Third Strike. Okay. Third Strike, when you're two people who really know how to play Third Strike, it's the best. But Third Strike, when you're two new players, is terrible. And Third Strike, when you're a relatively new player against a good player, is one of the worst fighting games. Because the things that, like, the way the parry mechanic works makes you feel invalidated. Right? It feels really good to parry, pop, 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 right? And you know, like people mentioned Skullgirls or something like that, where you can combo to oblivion. Okay, when you're getting combo to an oblivion, you're a victim of the person's offense. Having your offense overtly nullified might be the worst feeling thing you could encounter in a fighting game. It emasculates you. It infantilizes you. It's too much. It, like, the parry is incredible, and it's too much. It's like it makes you feel like you're fighting the Undertaker, and your opponent is just no-selling absolutely everything. Aoko kicked in $5. Thanks, man. Pat got another fake ass PS1 game that Dave Oshry was linking, the Tartarus Key. I'm gonna go add that. I'm a big fan of this. I'm a fan of this concept of a fake ass PS1 game. That is a fake ass PS1 game. Checks Master Sub. Every character creator needs to have the Dark Souls 2 monster maker. Street Fighter 6 is about as monstrous as it gets. Spice Slip and a Rodal both subscribe. Thank you. Appreciate it.